start streaming. And it's working. It's working. All right. All right. Okay, everybody ready?
Yes.
Yep. Okie dokie. The story began with our heroes attending the market festival in the village of Phaendar in Nermathus. Elwood, Nyari, Oran, and Theros participated in a variety of activities before settling in at the Taproot Inn to hear some of the wild tales of local legend Oran the Green. The festivities are brought to a horrifying end as the village is swarmed with hobgoblins. A massive tower suddenly appears in the town's center, with the vile creatures pouring out of it. The Ironfang Legion is here. The party is beaten badly in the surprise attack, and Nyari is nearly lost. But with some luck and camaraderie, they manage to overcome. The group forms an escape plan to search Phaendar for supplies, rescue locals, and blow the bridge leading towards Fangwood Forest. Nyari and Theros fear the worst, as their loved ones are scattered across the town. A bloody battle ensues at the Riverwood Shrine. Elwood slays a wolf with a mighty blow. He and Nyari also duel a pair of hobgoblins, aided by Theros' bear companion Volus. The party emerges victorious and manage to rescue a number of survivors, including Nyari's precious friend. They press on. Next, the four claim a decisive win over a group of injured hobgoblins outside of the Phaendar Trading Company. The building itself is on fire, but their heroic deeds see it vanquished as they rescue yet another group of survivors. Their bonds grow tighter and the determination soars as they continue on. Worried about his father, Theros rushes into Vain-Orald's fine shop. The group is ambushed by an explosive-wielding hobgoblin inside. Nyari and Oran manage to move Theros' father out of harm's way just in time. Their combined efforts, with a finishing blow from Theros, dispatch the fiend. They discover a device capable of blowing the bridge before making their final attempt to escape. The party approaches the bridge. In order to destroy it, they need to make use of a construction crane operated from a nearby workshop. Nyari, Oran, and Volus attempt to stealthily kill two hobgoblins inside, but their plans are thwarted as the creatures sound an alarm, alerting the swarm in town. Elwood and Theros encounter a hobgoblin druid and her wolf companion outside. A vicious fight takes place as fate works against our heroes. The rescued villagers begin rushing across the bridge toward Fangwood Forest. In the midst of the chaos, Volus is struck down. Nyari and Oran manage to finish off the hobgoblins in the workshop. Elwood slays the wolf with a mighty swing of Oran's longsword, but he and Theros are beaten back by the evil druid. It's in this moment our heroes realize it's too late for their plan. They must either run or fall to the Ironfang Legion. Elwood pleads with his companions to make their escape as he stands up to face the druid and oncoming legion. Nyari's gaze meets her friend across the bridge as she finds the determination to press onward. Theros sees his father, his pleading eyes, and follows, along with Oran. They won't let their friend die in vain. Elwood bellows his final words as he valiantly charges the enemy forces, buying whatever time he can for his friends and the people of Phaendar to escape.
Excellent. Excellent work, sir. god! Oh my gosh! We're so cool.
I love how you said we there, but I don't know.
I
what
was
you
part
did
of
to
that,
that.
okay? We together. Andrew's expertise and skill and technical knowledge and time and dedication. But we crafted the story.
He's
or some
right.
parts of it. Oh, that was so good, Andrew.
That was
Thank you.
very good. That was awesome.
You're
That was
welcome.
very well done, yeah. So, we open to a city skyline, decorated with dozens of pure red banners as a troop of Imperial soldiers parade through the main street, their armor glinting in the sunlight. The camera pans across a gathered crowd and focuses on two young men watching with eyes of admiration. We recognize one as a young Elwood, or rather, Arixon Telemore. Flash, we cut to a new scene with Arixon still in focus, but slightly older now, proud and determined in a line of marching soldiers on a country road. An orange sunset silhouettes farmers and laborers working their fields as his battalion continues to march. Flash, we cut again, this time to the sounds of battle. An arrow flies through the sky from a line of trees. Nirmathi Rangers and Molthuni Imperial soldiers fight at the edge of a forest. Arixon and another man stand back to back, cornered. The arrow pierces the man's skull and he collapses just moments before Arixon is rescued by a charge of Molthuni cavalry. Flash. The camera pans up from the ground and we see Arixon kneeling beneath an elm tree, his face solemn and a short sword plunged into a slight mound in front of him. Flash. We see a unit of soldiers standing at attention as a man addresses them from a balcony at Fort Ramgate. Around the barracks, in line at the mess holes, on the training fields, I've heard what you've been saying, soldiers. You scoff at the rebels. You think they're a joke, that their weapons and techniques are inferior. Some of you brag that you'll single-handedly bring an end to the Northern Rebellion. I'm telling you, you're wrong. These Nirmathi know the woods beyond these gates better than you know the lines on the back of your own hands. They move like lightning, they strike with fury, and if given the chance, they'll cut you down before you can even draw your swords. You have much on your side, soldiers, it's true, and with the guidance of your superiors and the support of your comrades, I truly believe your unit will do well. But I'll tell you one thing. Underestimate the enemy at your own peril. A cocky Molthuni is surely a dead one. Flash. We see Arixon again, this time in Imperial armor decorated with marks of honor and command. He sits atop a warhorse, frantically waving his arms to rally a unit of hobgoblins slaughtering Nirmathi citizens outside Fort Ramgate. He cries out, trying to call them back, but his words are drowned out by the chaos. In the distance, we see two female figures, loosely clothed in northern attire, attempting to flee as a third male figure stands his ground. Flash. A leaf falls over the camera lens, and we return to the elm tree. Arixon lays his Imperial medallion and his marks of honor atop the same mound next to a now rusty blade. Flash. We cut again and see Arixon, or rather Elwood, as we are used to seeing him, in Nirmathi garb, leading a group of merchants and defending them from bandits. Flash. For a final time, we cut to a silent scene of a man, his back to the camera, charging away into a horde of monstrous humanoid figures. We see Elwood as he runs, in slow motion, holding a magnificent longsword in both hands. As he makes contact with the horde, he swings with all his might and is countered by one of the hobgoblins, and at that moment we hear a loud clang, and time returns to normal as we are engulfed in the chaotic sound of battle. Hobgoblins roar as they move to surround the lone warrior. Blades deflect off his armor, but some find purchase in the exposed areas of his body. He yells out and continues to desperately swing his weapon, landing more than a few blows himself. But the battle lasts only a few seconds before several blades pierce his armor and plunge into his torso. He falls to his knees, and the hobgoblins raise their blades to strike one final blow, when a voice cries out, "Hold your blades!" The camera pans to Kurgri, her arm outstretched. Don't kill him yet. We'll take him to the lieutenant and make an example out of him. We then see the hobgoblins drag Elwood's nearly unconscious body across the market green to the base of a towering black stone structure at its center. Kurgri pulls out a vial and forces it into Elwood's throat, and his wounds slowly heal. From a raised platform in the structure, we hear a voice. Kurgri, what are you doing here? You were ordered to guard the bridge. We see a tinge of fear in Kurgri's face. I saw some commotion in that direction. Surely you haven't fled your post. Of course not, sir. It's just that we caught this human trying to escape. I brought him here to make an example out of him for the other prisoners. Just one? You expect me to believe he made all that racket on his own? Well, no, sir, there were others, but hold your tongue. I care not for your pitiful excuses. You were given a task which you have failed, and you dare to think that bringing me one half-dead dog will make up for it? There's a pause before the voice returns, and as it does, we hear footsteps descending from the platform. Kurgri, your failure would normally be punishable by death, but we have just accomplished a great first step for the Legion. Tonight should be a time of celebration, so I will give you a chance to redeem yourself. The figure finally comes into view as a hulking figure, still shrouded in darkness of night. The figure reaches towards Elwood, grabs him by the neck, and effortlessly lifts him to his feet. You said it yourself, we need to make an example out of this wretched mutt, and you will be the one to do so. Prove that you are still worth keeping alive. The fear on Kurgri's face is replaced with sadistic pleasure. It would be my honor, sir. And with that, I will refer you all to roll 20, as I am going to remove the Fog of War from this map here.
Elwood, no.
Can you all see the map there with Elwood?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, this is the situation he is in.
Oh.
He's got it under control.
Never tell me the
Don't
odds.
Now,
Live forever.
now where's Nyari trying to get the Masterwork shield from? You know, she's
Very
sneaking
all there.
back to try and get to it.
Okay, so Elwood, the situation that you find yourself in, you are surrounded by many hobgoblins, and in front of you, that you can barely see in the darkness, is Kurgri, her weapons drawn. You still have access to the Auburn's longsword that you had before you charged. I think you dropped your shield, so you don't have that.
I did.
You are at full health, though, and you're going to have to roll initiative.
Okay.
Six.
Not as good as I was hoping.
Well, unfortunately, Kurgri rolled a 7,
Oh.
so she will be going first.
I added my +1, right? Yeah.
However,
6 it is.
just as this duel begins, Elwood, you feel a very calming presence wash over you, and you recall the prayer that you had spoken out, yelled out before you charged the hobgoblins. And as you feel this presence wash over you, you look down, and the longsword that you had used, not Auburn's longsword, but the other one, the one that was yours originally, you see it glow with light. And as you draw it out, you feel that it is different. It was just a normal longsword before, but it has some sort of magical balance to it. It feels just twice as good as it ever did before. And you feel that, your surroundings kind of almost seem to slow faintly. And as you're looking around, you realize that it's not necessarily that things are slowing down, but your senses are heightened to an absolute peak. And what essentially is going to happen is that because of your prayer and Iomede's answer, you will be affected by 3 different spells for this combat. Haste, Light, which is cast on your normal longsword, and your longsword is also affected by magic weapon.
So it becomes a +1 +1.
It is essentially a +1 longsword with light cast on it, and you have haste. I believe I already put haste as a buff in your character sheet. Can't remember if
You did, thank you.
That. Yes, so you can add that and make sure that your weapon is working as a +1.
Damage and to hit should be higher, correct?
Should be 1 higher than a normal longsword, yes.
And I can add that. Instead of a +1 from weapon finesse or focus, I can make that a +2. And
Yep.
for damage, I can add a miscellaneous +1
Yes.
for an item bonus.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so you have all of those on, and now we will do the first round of combat. And as I said, Kurgri will be going first here. She is going to... She already has her sword and her shield out. She looks at you and just spits on the ground before her, doesn't say a word, and then charges straight at you with a grin on her face. So she's going to make a charge attack at you with her scimitar. That is a very low roll. That with the charge bonus, that is only a 11 to hit, which is going to miss. That was her round. You are up, Elwood. What would you like to do?
Hang on, I just gotta make sure this is gonna work. Yeah. Give me a second, sorry. We jumped right into it,
Yeah.
Okay. He is going to take a full round attack.
Yeah.
To start. Yep, that's what he's gonna do. And
Absolutely.
I think, yeah, we're just gonna do that for now. But I get 2 attacks then now because I'm hasted, right?
That is correct.
Because I can make an additional one at my full base attack bonus. So there's no reason full attack and damage roll. I'll roll them all together.
It does not matter. You can roll them one at a time or all at once.
Okay, I'll do them all at once. And he offers just thanks. First one misses.
Same
Second
roll
one.
that she had.
That'll hit.
That will hit for 10 points of damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Real quick, are you power attacking on these, or is it just regular swings?
Power attack on all of
Power
them.
attack.
Okay, so you land a heavy blow and you kind of cut right through her armor. Her left pauldron flies off, detached from her armor. She is still up, but you have landed the first blow. Do you
Securing
have
series-
anything else that you would like to do? That was your full round action. You only have a 5-foot step left if you'd like to talk. If you'd like it.
I can take a 5-foot step, and I will make her have to close the distance.
Okay. You step there, and you can hear behind you, hobgoblins just. They have their own weapons drawn, and they're kind of like reaching out. They're not coming closer to you, but they're like reaching out, trying to hit you as well, just to get something in there, sneering at you and laughing.
Yep.
Back to her. She will, undaunted, step forward and make an attack again. Goodness. I was rolling really good last time. I rolled a 3 on the first attack. This one I rolled a 5 for another 11. So she misses again, this time cursing out in rage at the fact that she's not doing very well. She was looking forward to this opportunity. Elwood, it's your turn again.
I'm gonna take a chance here and make an assumption. I will swift action smite evil.
Okay.
On this next attack.
Let me just check. Yeah, she's evil.
All right.
Somebody multi-class?
Somebody did multi-class after
Paladin?
all. I went Paladin of Yomandai. That's right.
Whoa.
I know. Pretty good, right? Pretty good. So I think that I have a buff in here that should accurately calculate it. It's a plus charisma mod to attack and damage, and a charisma mod to my deflection AC against that creature.
Yep. And then I think your paladin level to damage, which is just 1.
Which is just 1, yes. Which is in there and did accurately get added in. I'll take 2 more attacks with my hasted action.
Make your attacks.
Yeah!
Hit.
Yeah!
So Kurgri had, at the very start, she had 27 hit points. And with those 2 hits, that is a total of 37 damage. How would you like to do this?
There are tears still in his eyes, but he feels the warmth of Yomadai. And whether or not he should, he feels forgiven. And this, the rest is just extra. This is just bliss. And a smile curls perhaps on his face, not in the delight of the killing, but that his death wasn't in vain. He knows his friends got away. He knows Yomadai heard him. And he strikes once across her chest, and as she's knocked off balance without missing a beat, he steps forward, leaning into the strike, and comes back through, felling her and ripping her apart as she crumbles and collapses before him, dead.
Yes, and as you're doing that, you can see the look on her face, and it's just pure rage. But then as that final strike begins to land, it is fear as the light goes out from her eyes, and she dies.
Real quick, how does everyone respond to this?
They cheer. They they didn't really care who won. They know eventually you will fall. And they don't care how many it takes. They're just relishing the combat in general. And as you land this strike and she collapses across this ring of hobgoblins, it kind of opens up, and in walks that hulking figure, which I can show to all of you here. Shift Z.
Oh my
God.
word. Oh my gosh.
Good luck,
I
Elwood.
thought that stone was part of his foot for a second. I'm like, what is going on with his foot?
Oh, I did too. I was like, oh, it's a massive foot. Everyone doesn't
Why
look
he got such a huge foot?
That hulking figure walks into the arena and at least head and shoulders above you. You're at a distance it's hard to compare, but just twice your size.
Elwood's
And the
got
voice, the same voice that was talking to Kurgri from before, is this figure, and he says,
I had a feeling she was useless. I'll finish you myself.
and then as he's walking in, you hear a different voice, also from outside, as the crowd parts again, and a different figure walks in. He says, Stand down, Scarvinius. I will handle him. As this figure
Ooh.
walks into the arena.
Ooh.
Oh, he's
Pun-
weird.
Punch daggers.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's supposed to be a woman.
It is not.
Oh, it's
is-
not?
No,
Looks
it's not
very
a woman.
feminine to me.
As this
Life.
figure
I would
As this
use.
figure walks into the arena, all of the hobgoblins immediately kneel, including this hulking figure whom has just been named Scarvinius. Scarvinius looks over, he's like,
Lieutenant, I can handle this. You don't have to get involved.
stand down like I said.
You're worthless.
So are all of your troops. Didn't even land a hit, did she? I'm sick of this farce. Then he turns to look at you and he says, I don't care who you are or what you did. We have business to attend to, and this whole mess is slowing things down. So get rid of that stupid smile and prepare to die like the dog you are. And as he does that, the hulking figure timidly backs out of the arena, and you are left face to face with this other figure.
Oh no.
Can I talk?
Absolutely. You can say something before we roll initiative again.
Yeah. You have all secured yourself an early death. If not by my hand, then Amathi will lick their wounds, and they will strike back. This will be your grave error. And he readies.
Okay, roll initiative.
This is cool. There we go.
You know it's a boss when the smaller one comes out. Oh no.
Okay.
That's some Dark Souls crap right there.
Yeah, that's something.
So this figure is going to go first.
Oh. Yikes.
I'm thinking like rogue levels or something.
And
I really hope not.
once you shout out that final phrase, all the hobgoblins just kind of laugh. They're not taking you seriously whatsoever. They start cheering again as this figure steps forward. You will step right into the middle of the arena, drawing both of these, looks like daggers, but they're held kind of with like a crossbeam between. He just holds them out and just waits for you to approach. What do you do, Elwood?
He'll charge.
Okay.
If he can take one more with him,
Absolutely.
that'll do it.
You charge, make your attack with a +2 charge bonus.
You'll have to add it in after, and I have to take off smite real quick.
Sure.
Turns out he was actually charging the guy behind him. I'm
Yeah,
not
I
kidding.
started attacking the crowd, actually. Just the guy closest to me. Just kill him. I'll swing with redemption.
Okay. That is a miss.
I can't win this fight.
As you swing at this creature, he just steps to the side. You didn't even come close, and he just grins at you.
That was a nat 16. All of you watching at home.
A natural 20 always hits.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Stay
gosh.
positive.
He looks down at you, and you're looking up at him. It is his turn now. He makes a full attack.
I know what I did.
On his first strike,
Wait, he's not high enough level to have iterative attacks, is he? That'd be
So-
really bad.
I just rolled a bluff check for him because he
Ooh.
is feinting you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very nice.
So his total bluff result was a natural 20 on the die for a 38 bluff.
That results against my what now?
It's against 10 plus your base attack bonus plus your wisdom modifier.
Yep. Well,
He wants that sneak attack.
I'm fooled. All right, so he got the best of me this
Yep.
time.
So that was his effectively his first attack.
He
Yes,
does
he
have
can-
iterative attacks.
Yes. So
Oh my gosh, I'm so dead.
well, he's holding 2 weapons, so he clearly has 2-weapon fighting.
Oh, I forgot about that too.
So he makes his attack with his offhand weapon. That is a 24 to hit, and I think you're flat-footed because of the
No, I acted because flat-footed because of the feint.
because of the feint, I believe. So 24 against flat-footed.
Yes, that'll hit. And let me double check about feint. I do believe in first edition it will leave you flat-footed.
Does it
Did
hit
I-
if
no.
you're not flat-footed?
So you're not flat-footed, but you deny him of the use of his dexterity bonus, which is basically flat-footed, but you don't gain the flat-footed condition.
Okay. So he is going to make an attack here, and I'm going to roll the damage in chat so you can all see.
One hit.
He's just showing off
One.
at this point.
One hit. But I'm done, I bet.
Wait, was he?
Holy shoot!
You take 42 points of damage as this guy's offhand dagger plunges right into your neck, and he lifts you off the ground.
Blood is just pulling from the wound.
And he tosses your body to the ground, looks at all the hobgoblins around him, and says,
Get back to work.
and flash, we cut out of that scene.
That's so sad.
Thus ends Elwood.
What a great job! Oh, I'm gonna miss him. Oh, I'm gonna miss him. I really loved Elwood. Oh, that was so good, though. What a death! What a death!
Yep, you might encounter that guy again in the future.
That's foreboding.
you think?
It's very foreboding.
Offhanded did 42 damage on their second attack. Maybe
Well-
if they have improved feint, I think they can feint as a move action. So maybe that's why she let me come to him, or he let me come to him. But no matter how you slice it, that was not a winnable job.
78. I'm trying to think because I played a rogue up to his 5th level, and I think I got 3d8.
Yeah, 7's a lot.
Yeah, you also took 7 points of bleed, by the way.
I'll mark that. So as it flashes away, instead of a flash, let's go for more of a zoom effect on this one. As it pans
A
out from the
drone?
sea. Yeah, and you see this from the neck and the blade. Is it still lit, or does the spell fade?
As the life and the light from your eyes fade, so too does the blade.
So you kind of like, it's like one of those close-up shots where you see his own blade in his eyes, and it's glinting, and then it's gone. It pans out, the blade's gone, and he's blood.
Aww.
At least
We-
you took down that evil woman.
I did.
hobgoblin.
I
Indeed.
did.
That
By
was
the grace
worth
of
it.
Yomadai, it was worth it.
Yeah.
And I saved you, so worth it. Worth it.
We transition to a group of 20 or so fleeing survivors. As you guys make it to the edge of the Fangwood, you kind of look behind you and you see just a ceiling of smoke hangs over the city, reflecting the orange glow from burning houses. Ash drifts into the air like falling snow. The screams of townsfolk have died away, leaving an eerie silence broken now and then by the howling of wolves or the harsh tones of the goblin tongue. Bodies lie in the streets, sprawled in pools of blood where they fell. It seems everyone else in town may be imprisoned or dead, except for the hobgoblin invaders. Phaendar has fallen. And as you guys make your way into the Fangwood Forest, give a little bit of description about the terrain here. So the terrain in the Fangwood is difficult. Rolling hills, gullies, sudden drops, house-sized boulders, and thick stands of undergrowth. make for a confusing and treacherous landscape that generally prevents line of sight for about 100 feet. Can't move straight for about 100 feet. Strands of ancient elven magic sometimes cause the terrain to shift seasonally, rotating copses of trees, raising hills, uncovering previously hidden canyons. Trees grow over 100 feet high and blot out the sun in most of the forest, leaving the forest floor in a perpetual twilight and often supporting entirely separate ecosystems in their upper branches. Though beautiful, the constant switchbacks and shifting terrain make travel hard for even seasoned rangers. This is the terrain that you guys are all fleeing into, and it is getting into night at this point, and the majority of your group cannot see in the dark. You all move as long and as far into the forest as you can to escape anything that could be pursuing you, but eventually the exhausted townsfolk have to stop. They have to rest. It's probably midnight by the time this occurs. You've just been running as a group through the forest. You probably don't know exactly where you are. And as you all kind of catch your breath, what are the three survivors of the party thinking? You can start, whoever wants to start. Just what is your character thinking as they're maybe leaning against a tree or collapsed on the ground? How are they processing what just happened?
You guys can go ahead if you have any thoughts already.
So I'll say, so Nyari comes down off of her rage and is immediately struck with like such a heavy fatigue that it's like coming down off such a great high, and it's like the weight of the world has crashed down on her, and she as soon as they come to a stop, she kind of goes and she just slumps against a tree and like holds her head in her hands and closes her eyes as tears just involuntarily begin streaming down her face, and she's immediately transported back to a memory. She hears a voice in her head, and it's her own voice, and it says, "Mama, I don't want to go tomorrow." And suddenly she's in this small tent, and she's sitting on the ground on a cozy bearskin rug, and her mother sits behind her on a wooden cot, and she's braiding her hair, and she says, "You will be with many warriors, Steer Nellis." Her mother using her name in her native Skald. "You do not need to fear the hunt. This is part of your growing up. You should be proud as a member of the Snowmask tribe. With this hunt, you will be accepted as one of the warriors." Nyari bites her trembling lip and she says, "Mama, what if I can't be a warrior? What if I'm too scared?" Ingrid finishes the braid and then slides down onto the ground next to her daughter, and she looks at her and says, "You will always feel fear, Steer Nellis. It is what you do with your fear that defines you. Courage is not being unafraid. Courage is being scared to death and moving forward regardless." And her vision fades out, and she wipes her tears from her face and opens her eyes and puts her head back against the tree and just sits. And she's shaking, like she can't stop shaking.
I can go next.
Go for
Take
it.
it away, Oran.
Yeah, so Oran, much the same, finds a nice rock, big boulder to just sit down next to, and he pulls out his he carries a little book with him that has the hammer and tongs symbol on it, and it's lacquered, and he pulls it out and begins just reading, but then flips to the back, and he has a small area in the back where he takes notes, and he begins writing about Elwood, what he remembers. He didn't know Elwood, but he just jots down a little bit about Elwood, and begins taking notes on Fandar what transpired there and grievances to repay one day.
He's writing a list.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Theros walks away from the group a bit of a ways to find some time to himself, and he finds a nearby tree that's close enough he can still see the group, but far enough away to hide the despair on his face, to hide the tears that are slowly making their way down his cheeks, as he too recalls a memory. That's all right, don't be shy. Come on, come to me, come here, he says in a childlike voice, as Volus, a small bear cub, emerges from a little berry bush. It's all right, we can share this, he says, as he holds out a handful of berries to the small cub. Volus happily partakes in the small meal, and Theros crouches down next to him, strokes his fur. Are you lost too? He asks the small creature, and it looks up at him and continues eating happily. And cuts back to Theros, quietly weeping next to the tree. As he says, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, my friend. And that's it.
And Theros, as you were running with the group, you could feel that empathic bond with Volus that you've had ever since you met. Just every step that you took further away, the bond felt like it was straining. You get to this point and you just feel like it's barely holding on by a thread. And you just know in your mind that come the morning, you probably won't feel it at all. And the rest of the refugees here, they're still panicked. They're just sobbing one to another. None of them are really handling any of this well, and they shouldn't be. Many of them lost family members. What do you all do in this night? Do you all just do you try to like set up tents? Do you just make makeshift like beds out of leaves and whatnot on the ground? Or do you just collapse where you are, too tired to really do any setting up, so to speak?
Theros is going to just collapse where he's at, because all of his survival gear was with Volus for the most part. Aside from his cold weather outfit, his tent and everything else was with the bear, so yeah.
I'll at least pull out my bedroll, but I'm just gonna sleep by the rock.
Nyari is going to, she's going to take out her bedroll, and she's got a blanket. And then I would also imagine, as part of like the cold weather outfit, that she's got some sort of like jacket or coat, and she's just going to find any children or any elderly people, and she's going to give them her things, and she's used to the cold weather, so she's fine with being cold. She glances over at where Ilika is, and then turns and goes off into the dark and sits up against a tree and goes to sleep, holding the butterfly carving of Desna in her hand.
These are heroes, guys. Good job, everyone. Oh my gosh.
Nyari, as you're looking around for someone to give your bedroll to, there are no children or elderly in the group. It looks like those two demographics wouldn't have made it out.
Oh, that's so sad.
It's awful.
Seems
you imagine-
unnecessary.
The oldest member of this group is most likely Jinveric, though, and he was heavily wounded, so he's probably the one that you go to and set
Yeah.
up for to give him as good a place to rest as he can, as
Can you
he is
imagine
probably the
how-
most in need.
Sure, you
Mhm.
want to give it to Kenning, your best bud? Hmm?
Can you
She's just an
imagine how
employer.
crushing it
Mm.
must be for her? You know, like going and looking for someone to help,
Yeah.
like a way to make
Mhm.
sense of this senseless violence, and like, at least I can do good. And it's like, no, there's not even anyone to do good for. There's nothing left.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And she's definitely sealed off her emotions. So I mean, at
Right.
some point it'll break, but she's hardened herself, and she's just not letting herself feel at this point.
Right. You'd have to. You'd have to.
All right, and yeah, all the others are pretty much doing the same thing. They're just kind of collapsing where they're at. Even Rena, who is just, as the book describes it, irritatingly optimistic. She kind of goes around, trying her best to comfort people, saying like, "Oh, we can, we'll figure things out in the morning," or something like that. But every person that she goes to, you can feel less and less conviction in her voice, until halfway through she just kind of stops and finds her own place as well. And you all bed down for the night, exhausted, and the night passes. And in the following morning, maybe around 8 o'clock or so, as it would have been pretty late when you all rested and you were quite tired. So about 8 o'clock perhaps in the morning, as the sun rises and the canopy of trees blocks out a lot of the light, so it's still pretty dim, even though the sun is now up. Some of the people who made it out, maybe they had a couple supplies with them when they fled. They start almost just on autopilot, just setting up makeshift tents. This is not the first time that members of Phaendar have had to flee into the Fangwood. It is the first time that they have not been able to do so without notice. They've always been able to see approaching raids coming days and days out because of how flat the plains are, but this is the first time that they were caught unawares. But they're used to fleeing into the Fangwood, so they're just kind of going about what they normally do, setting up tents and whatnot.
For a lot of them, it's probably the first time they've done it just as themselves, like without everyone else there.
Yeah, normally there's a lot more, and this time it's fewer than usual. So I've just moved you to a new map, which I have here. It's got a couple tents set up, and I put the named NPCs in each one of the tents. There would be more, but that's the extent of the tents on this map. I have placed the three of you there. In the morning, I think only one of you notices something that is odd, something unexpected. Theros, make a perception check.
Okay.
Theros, you wake up and everything seems kind of normal, which is odd to you because you specifically expected things to be worse in the morning. But that bond you feel with Volus is still there. And what's more is it feels stronger. Almost as if Volus is still alive.
What?
You kind of focus on that feeling, that bond, and you are hit with a flood of emotions, primarily one of fear and one of, being lost. But it seems that Volus is on the move. And, he's a bear, he has scent, he can track, and it seems like he's making his way to you, which baffles you. You know that he had been healed to an extent, but you weren't able to bring him to consciousness. You fled, you figured he would either bleed out or that the hobgoblins would get to him, but it seems that is not the case. And maybe an hour goes by. Maybe you get up and run in the direction that you think he might be running towards back towards Fhaendar. About an hour goes by, and eventually, let me just pop this on the map here. So what happens is that this is kind of out of game rules talk here, but when a character is below 0 but stable, like they've been healed or they've been stabilized via any other means, they are allowed a check once per hour to become conscious. They're still at minus hit points, so they're still staggered and all of that, but they have a check. And I gave Volus a check within the first hour of going down to see if Elwood's distraction would last long enough for him to become conscious and cross the bridge before the hobgoblins came back. And the DC was 13 because of his minus hit points. And you can actually, you'd have to scroll up pretty far, but up there in the history somewhere, I made the roll visible. I rolled for his constitution check, and he rolled a natural 17. So within the first hour, he came to consciousness and started following your guys' scent into the forest.
Oh, good bear!
And throughout the night, he has eventually caught up to you guys. And Theros, you see him. What do you do?
I'm booking it to him.
You run over to him. You see that he's still heavily wounded. You know, he's at, what does he look like? He's at 1 hit point at this point. Heavily wounded, but he is up and he's lumbering towards you.
Theros is just like half crying, half laughing, seeing Volus there. It's like, you, my brother. Just he's stumbling over his words. He doesn't even know what to say. Volus, and he pulls out the wand of cure light wounds, and tries to heal him immediately.
Yep. Go ahead and roll that.
That's one
1d plus 1.
1d4, you said?
1d8.
1d8 plus. Sorry, it cut out.
Oh, you're good.
Oops.
That-
Whoa,
that
D8.
that's-
D18.
That is
Thought
not.
you would slip under the radar if it rolled below an 8. You
That
had
is
your
a-
bets.
This is a very
That's an 8.
unique one.
1d8 plus 1. There we go. That's more
Not
like
bad.
Ah, bad.
So Volus gains 6 hit points, and just so you know, I leveled him in everything except I think skill ranks because I didn't know how you would distribute them. So
Okay.
I gave him the hit points that he would have earned. I increased his base attack bonuses, saves, all of that stuff. I think it's just he gets 1 more skill rank that you can put into whatever skill you want.
I'm going to use the cure light wounds until he's full health.
He's at 7, so he's still down 12.
Nice.
Another 6.
Okay.
Do animal companions just get a flat bonus to HP?
Yes.
Yeah.
They get half hit points.
At this
Okay.
point, is this the only way that Volus could regain health? He wouldn't regain
of
it just
rest.
from.
He will slowly regain hit points as he rests. And you know that you would probably have a sense. Actually, make a wisdom check. Just
Wisdom
a flat.
check. Okay.
Your
You're
wisdom.
tracking the charges, and you're like,
Check. You realize that chances are that Oran is in the morning. You know that she has a little bit of clerical healing at her disposal. You get a sense that she's probably just going to spend all of that in the morning to heal up anybody who is still wounded, like just around the various refugees that got wounded as they fled. So you think that, you know, if you just lead Volus back to camp, she can probably handle the rest.
Then I will do so.
Okay. Theros and Volus rejoin camp, and yes, Aubryn goes ahead and she uses all of her channels, all of her spells, everything that she has to make sure that everybody at camp is at full. All of their wounds are addressed, all of their ailments and whatnot. And you
Thanks,
see
Aubryn.
Jinveric, his wrist, his wrist doesn't come back. The wound there is over. He's still missing that hand, but the burn marks are pretty much gone. And he wakes up and he's feeling just fine, except for the missing hand. And Nyari and Oran, you wake up and you see Theros return to camp with Volus. What do you guys make of that?
So Nyari, like, probably up against the tree, didn't sleep very well, but it was kind of self-inflicted. And if she sees Volus, like, I think she would just kind of like half sob, half laugh, like just as a stress relief of like,
You're overcome, yeah.
we needed something. Like, we needed one thing, and that was the thing that we needed. And like, she left that shack in a rage to go fight the hobgoblin outside, and I don't think she fully processed like what that did. Like, she didn't have any means to bring the bear up, but like she didn't know what had happened to him, really. Like, she left that shack, and then he didn't come with them last night. So I think just like a little bit of relief.
Yeah, and so Oran just starts laughing, and he's overwhelmed by it because he functionally is the one that had to abandon the bear as well. He had stayed and tried to heal it as long as he could, and just couldn't get it back up. So he's super thankful, and just starts reading from his prayer book, and just super happy that the bear's even back, and is overwhelmed that it was able to make its way back.
Yeah, on that.
Honestly, he thought it had died, and like he couldn't do anything about it. That was a heavy burden on him, because he had to leave the shack knowing that the bear was still wounded and wasn't even conscious, and there was nothing he could do about it. Nothing further he could do about it.
Yep. And
what a beat though in the story.
Yeah. Nyari, roll a super easy perception check for me. One that I probably shouldn't even have you roll, but I said it, so I'll have you roll anyways.
You succeed.
Well, thank goodness I didn't biff that one, because
I know you got that one. He's been caught in the DM.
Well, it's super easy. It's DC 5.
Okay.
He'll be like, that actually met the DC. So
So
sorry, I should roll.
Yeah. Once I explain what you see, it'll become very obvious why a roll probably wasn't necessary. But I think with a low DC, it could have been, just because of how distracted you might be.
Right.
But you wake up, you see Volus, comes into camp alive, and as you're having that reaction, you hear a slight stirring just beside you, leaning against the same tree that you were, and you turn your head, and it's Illica. She's still asleep, but kind of stirring a little bit. And she was just laying, leaning against the tree.
Aww.
Maybe her head was resting very close to your shoulder.
Isn't that so cute?
Oh
my God.
And does she still have the necklace that Nyari gave her?
Yeah. And as you guys are all having these reactions, laughing and whatnot, seeing Volus still alive, a strange, infectious optimism just pervades the camp. These guys all these survivors were through a lot, and they see you guys just, celebrating over this bear coming back alive, and everybody's, healed up, all of their wounds are gone, and there's just this hopeful presence in the camp. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, with that being said, like, everybody's sensing that presence. Can Theros say something?
Absolutely.
Although he feels completely out of character, he feels he owes this. This is the least he can do. But as he looks around and notices everybody's spirits coming up, he grabs a nearby glass or cup or something someone was using, just amongst the supplies, and he raises it up and he says, "Let us not forget the reason we are here tonight. Our brother Elwood gave his life so we could have this moment. Let this moment be the first in many where we fight back. Cheers to Elwood."
And everyone in the camp, they all, they don't have cups or anything, but they all like raise their fists in the air, and there's a little bit of a cheer that everyone says to Elwood.
Well, and actually, we do have
I'm back
some
now.
Old Law whiskey, so we have 3 bottles of that. Where
Yeah.
I would
Yeah, you got
imagine,
3 bottles
know,
that you could pass around.
yeah, you don't want to necessarily carry that if we're going to be, heading through the forest. So, like, we'd probably
Are you
take
gonna bring that up?
and pass that out, and just have everybody like take a swig or two from the bottle.
Oren's
just
got
kind
a whole bottle himself.
Right. He's just chugging it against the rock. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. My internet died. What'd I miss?
Oh
We're just passing out
no!
whiskey.
We
in Elwood's honor.
Theros made a
yeah.
toast in Elwood's honor, and a little
Oh, man,
speech.
The dramatic irony there is really good.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
So this minor celebration goes on for about an hour, and then once people start coming back to their situation, the 3 of you are approached by Oran, and she comes to you and she says, "I cannot thank you enough for all that you've done. I know that we lost a lot, but looking around, these people here wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. If you 3, you 4 hadn't have been there, I don't know if any of us would have made it out. So I thank you for that. But now we have other problems. We have limited supplies, and I don't know how long we're going to be stuck out here. Do you perhaps have any ideas? I think a lot of the people here, they look up to you. You're something of heroes, really. I don't know if maybe you don't want to be in a position of leadership, but I think you might be the best ones to organize a survival effort here for as long as we need to stake out here and wait until we can return to Phaendar. And at this point, we can kind of discuss the survival rules if you would like, if you have any questions after reading them. Basically, in order to be like well fed, everyone, including yourselves and probably including Volus, I'd say, has to eat 1 provision point per day. You can survive on half, but if you do that for too many days, you will start having to roll against starvation. As you don't have the right nutrients to sustain the amount of effort that you're putting into every day surviving in the forest here. I believe on the chart,
Did we lose Josh again?
We lost his video.
No.
He's muted.
I'm here. I'm just muted because I'm on my phone and trying to fix the internet. I don't want to interrupt anything that's going on.
You're
I
good.
can hear everything now, though.
Okay.
So I believe I'll have to pull up the survival, NPC tracker chart that we have. I believe you have 25 survivors, and that is not including the 3 of you and Volus. So there'd be 29 of you total, and you have 44 provision points. So if everybody were to eat 1 provision point per day, that would last you a little less than 2 days. So one of the main issues in this next part of the adventure is going to be survival, managing the survivors, the NPCs here, making sure that people are doing some sort of job. They can either go out and hunt or forage for food. They can build shelters, which there's a couple up now. They can, if they have the tools, they can craft things, and any of them who have handle animal, which I believe is only the warriors, which you have 4 of. So the
Says the
warriors.
commoners have those as well. Unless
Oh,
that's
they
a
do. Yeah.
different-
Yep. I didn't see that it was in there. Yep. So you actually have a number of people in this group that can go out and try to get animals, some of the goats or sheep that might have run into the Fangwood after the attack, and you can start to gather them around. And animals generate a certain amount of provision points every couple days, or they can just be butchered for an immediate food resource if needed. But yeah, there's a number of different actions that survivors can take. Jet, Kining, and Rena all have unique bonuses that they provide as long as they are in the camp. I believe only Jet and Rena are worth mentioning. Kining, if you have to make use of Kining's benefit, then something has gone terribly wrong.
Please no, please no.
What's her benefit? Oh yeah, it's in the
Her
Plus
her
one to
benefit is
initiative.
yeah.
Plus
While
one to
she's in the,
initiative.
while she's there, everybody gets a bonus to initiative. So if the refugees have to start making initiative checks, that's a bad sign.
Something has
It's a
happened.
bad day.
But yeah, so all that information is there, and you guys are kind of in a position to lead these refugees for a while. So what do you guys do on this first day? I can move you all to the hex map if you want to look at it. You can either start exploring the area, or you can maybe set up a more suitable campsite here. Make some checks to set up some decent tents for everyone. Make sure everybody has some temporary shelter. But Oran would come to you, and she'd be like, well, we can camp out here for a little while, but eventually we're going to need something more permanent than this. If a storm comes by or wild animals, anything, this isn't a very good permanent shelter. We need somewhere else that we can go. And that's probably going to require, searching the area. I know that there's a couple places that might work. They're not much better, but they're one step up, I suppose, from just camping out here in the middle of nowhere. So, yeah, so the things you have to address is you have to make sure you have a certain number of provisions to feed everyone, and you might be forced to have some people go with half provisions or no provisions for a day or so at a time. And you'll have to find a more permanent shelter for everyone. Those are the two big concerns here. Everyone who has it, make a knowledge geography or a knowledge local check, I believe.
I don't have those.
I have a knowledge geography and a knowledge nature.
Okay, roll geography. Okay, let me look at
Do
what
you
you
have
got
ranks
there.
in it?
Okay.
I do have 4. No, I have 1 rank for a total of 4.
Okay.
Because knowledge skills are trained only, so without a rank, even if it would be not in your list normally, you wouldn't have it. That's all I was checking.
Okay, so with that roll, Theros, you're kind of racking your brain. You've been in the Fangwood before, but you're not really coming up with any specific locations that you can maybe investigate to try to find shelter. Oran does provide one potential lead. She says there is it's a Chernasardo Ranger readout that the Rangers would occasionally make use of while they're in the area. Let me just find the thing here for that one. It is an annoyingly large number of pages away from where I was. Yep. So she says, I know of one spot. It's a bit of a swampy gully to the south east a bit here, but you could maybe look into that area, see if you can find the. It's really just a cabin. I don't know if it would really even fit all of us. It'd be pretty crowded, but maybe if we have no choice, we can all push ourselves in there for a short time, maybe. I doubt we'd find anyone there. It's abandoned most of the time. They only show up every once in a while. I think, I mean, if you guys go to investigate that, I'll see if I can maybe get in contact with some of the rangers. It'll take some time. There, word travels really slowly when you have to leave marks on trees and just hope somebody comes by and sees it. And it's been a long time since I've been with the rangers, so I don't know if they'll even pay attention to any of my messages. They might think that they're outdated. But I'll do my best. I'll see if I can't come into contact with someone while you guys are looking around for shelter. That's what she says.
GM, what was the name that she mentioned for the place?
The place that we were just talking about?
Yeah.
It is just there's no name to it. It's just a ranger readout. It's just like a cabin, kind of. Just a small place that they'd go, like one group at a time, maybe. It's really small, not the best for shelter, but it's better than nothing, is what she's saying. And you would all know that there are other places in the Fangwood. There's occasional, shacks that hunters would use, maybe caves that animals stay in. So there's places around, but at the moment, none of you are really coming up with any specific locations other than the one that she mentioned. And all she said is that it was to the south east of where you are, in a small wood that is kind of separate from Fangwood. There's a little bit of a gap between the proper Fangwood and this wood that that it is in. And I'll move the map here so you guys can see the hex map at the bottom left here. So I have a token over here in the river at the moment. I'll show it to you guys here. That is going to signify the tile that you guys are on. That is going to be the party tile. And over here in the middle of nowhere, that's on the map layer. Over here in the middle of nowhere is the camp that you currently have. It's just a bunch of tents at the moment. It's not a very good permanent solution to the shelter issue, but for the time being, that is where all of the refugees are going to be. And I believe the only other icon that you can see is where Phaendar would be, and that is Phaendar at the moment.
Well, I don't think we're going back there anytime soon.
Yes. So with the hex exploration rules is that depending on what you guys decide to do, if you want to do exploration today or if you want to kind of set up the camp more today, or maybe just forage in the general tile that you're on, just forage for food for now. That's up to you what you guys want to do. But basically the movement is you'll make a survival check. You guys can aid one person on the check, and just that one result will determine how many hexes you can explore. As long as the hex is a forest hex, it takes 2 hexes worth of movement because of how difficult the Fangwood forest terrain is. If you guys move further out of the forest and start getting to the plains, you can see pretty darn far and you can move a lot faster. But we can get to that specifically once we decide what you guys want to do. At this point, maybe 2 hours have passed in the morning.
Okay. I would say Nyari knows from her days in the Snow Mask. So they weren't like a nomadic tribe, but they would move. And like she knows the importance of shelter. So I think for her, she's definitely thinking like, this is all well and good for now. And like, this would be fine for somebody like me who's used to it. But if we get bad weather, snowstorm, rain, anything like that, like these people are going to start to get sick. And so she's thinking first and foremost, like we need to find something that has more cover, whether it be a cave, whether it be this cabin. Like we just need to get these people somewhere. And like she knows the other people could try to forage for food in the meantime. So I think that's kind of where her mind is at.
Yeah, Oran's thinking it's all hands on deck, so like everyone's gonna have to contribute to the survival. Same kind of mentality. Like a cave would be great if we can discover a cave of some kind. That would be fantastic. Easily defensible, provide shelter without having to be built, kind of thing. So he's in the same general mentality. Definitely though, he's thinking we have to move further into the forest, not set up camp here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as you guys are having this conversation, everybody roll a perception check.
Oh, geez.
At least he didn't say everybody roll initiative. Oh, no! No! We just got out of it! Have I even
Oh,
prepared myself
man.
yet?
I can see Fhaendar from here. Holy crap.
Okay.
We
Wow.
know everything. We're
So
very on edge, all of us.
yeah, exactly. The
Just like-
three of you are just hypersensitive to things at the moment. All three of you, almost at the same time, hear rustling coming from the forest down. I'm on the wrong layer for you to see that. Down in this direction. I'm kind of pinging an area down to the south of the camp. You see rustling. Well, you don't see rustling. You hear rustling. And a moment passes. The rustling is getting closer. As it does, you kind of, you get into a stance, prepared for anything, and out of the bushes walks a figure.
So I'll say
that's
Nyari has her bow drawn on whatever is coming out of this bush.
Yes, and Josh, can you describe this figure and what this figure has been doing for the past hour or so in the area?
Yes, I can. Although before I get into it, you should all know I am still on my phone, and the internet is still garbage. So I'll need all of your assistance to roll checks for me and stuff like that. But walking out of the woods, you see a young, olive-skinned man with the sandy brown hair and blue eyes, as I described. And if you read my description, you'll know that he's tall and muscular, but it's kind of got this diamond-shaped head that's kind of just rubs you the wrong way for no real good reason. And these ears that stick out real far, and his nose is all scrunched together. But he doesn't seem threatening, and as he walks around the bushes, you see that in his right hand he's actually leading a horse that's with him there. And as soon as he sees Nyari with the bow pointed to him, he'll throw his hands up quickly and like, whoa there, wasn't looking for any trouble. And
Who
he
are
looks
you?
around.
Who are you and why are you here? I've never seen your face before.
And that's
He doesn't respond right away. I think he's taking in the scene, and he sees all the people, and then very casually he just addresses Theros, and I say, Theros, where's everyone else?
Aiden. I don't quite understand what you mean.
What do you, the rest of Fhaendar? You must have come into the woods, saw a troop not far away, I imagine.
This is all of us. This is all that was able to escape before we were overrun.
What do you mean? You can see for miles.
I don't know how to
But-
explain it, but there's a giant tower that suddenly appeared in the middle of the town, and I don't know. It all happened so fast. Everybody was overrun. People slaughtered. We barely managed to make it out alive, and it's all thanks to... Never mind. What are you doing here?
His face is shifted to concern now. He says, my grandfather, Father Nolan, does he live?
Theros isn't entirely sure how to respond right away, so he hesitates, and he approaches Aiden and just puts his hand on his shoulder, and he says, I'm so sorry. He did not make it out with us.
Oh. So it really is just me then. Auburn the Green, the ranger, or former ranger. Does she live?
Yes.
I'm here, Aiden. She hears you guys talking and she kind of comes around to look at you and says, I'm here. Barely. And Aiden, you can see that she's kind of stumbling. She has been healed, yes, but the wound that she received was still very, very severe. So she's not yet at full capacity. She's still recovering. So she kind of
I'm back,
ambles
ladies
over
and
to you.
gentlemen. Give me 2 seconds.
Yep. One.
Needless to say, Nyari has put away her bow at this point, seeing that this is not a threat.
Nyari looses an arrow.
She
at
pulls a guy at the
Aiden.
Helm's Deep and just like, oops.
Oh no, Josh, you're not at the chat, but she rolled a natural 20 and max damage for ×3 crit, and unfortunately you're dead.
You're dead.
You really have it out for me, Sarah. You really do. I've just noticed you keep killing my characters. And now you're a player and you kill them. I don't understand.
Oh, I thought you were blaming me for Elwood's death, which kind of
You
is true.
touched the shield.
I did. It's my fault. I'm cursed. Everyone around me dies.
Tried to
So,
tell you.
I didn't have my camera, nor was I with the recording equipment that I wanted, but you will have seen on his face that he's sad about his grandfather going away, but there's this kind of like odd quick acceptance of it. Just like, oh, well, then that's it. Like, now there's really no one, is the impression that you would have gotten as you watch whatever goes over his face.
And Auburn sees all this and she says, Aiden, I apologize that we couldn't get your grandfather out alive, but this is a time that we have to be strong. You've always wanted to prove yourself. You've always wanted to make a name for yourself. I think now is the time for you to... Now's your chance.
Then I shall take it. What Auburn, what is to be done? What must I do? I will do it.
That's good to hear. I was just telling the others here that we have, only a short supply of provisions with us. We're going to need to set up some sort of system to keep ourselves alive as we're out here in the exposed in the forest here. And also going to need to find shelter. I've already told them about a ranger readout that I know about that maybe you could assist them in looking into. I don't know if maybe you have any other ideas. I know that you've been out here in the forest more recently than I have, so maybe you've seen something. And with that, Aiden, you can roll a knowledge geography or a knowledge local if you have either of those.
I have knowledge geography.
Okay, go ahead and roll that. Okay. It is a pretty good roll.
Oh, good. It's better than mine.
So you can think of a couple places. One that comes to your head immediately, you're like, oh, Gristledown.
Right.
That would work just fine. You haven't been there in a couple days. You've been out here hunting pretty much, getting ready to like go into Phaendar for the festival.
I had furs to trade.
Yeah, you had been out here hunting, gathering furs, and you were going to go in the morning to trade them when you came across all these tracks and followed them to find these people. But so you're like, Gristledown, we could all go there. That's one place that you think of. You also know of an abandoned hunter's hut that is in the... I got to look at the map to see which direction that's in. That is to the due east, a little bit north, but mostly east of where you currently are. You kind of have a better bearing of your surroundings because you know where you are. The others were kind of rushing through the night, so they're not totally around. And then the third place that you can think of is there is a... Oh, I just lost it. 1 second. Oh, yeah. There is a hermit that lives just north of where you are, a ways north, and she probably isn't going to give you shelter, but she might assist you guys with, provisions to an extent if you can, offer something in return. Again, she's a hermit, so, she's not going to give it for free, but maybe you could talk to her. So those are 3 locations in addition to the Rangers readout that you think of. Actually, no, there's a 4th one I forgot about. There is a farm, an abandoned farm, very nearby to the, I believe that is to the southwest of your current location, closer towards Phaendar. But it is an abandoned farm. There might be some, some crops that are still there that have just not been tended to for a long time, but maybe they've just persistently grown over the years, or maybe there's something left in the farmhouse itself. Again, that's probably not a good shelter because it's been a long time abandoned, so it's probably mostly dilapidated, but there might be something useful there to find. So you have a total of 5 locations that you can think about investigating.
Sure. Can you tell me how well does he think the group would be received at each of those different locations, or how they would serve him best? The people in Gristledown or the Hunter's Lodge?
Yeah, so the Hunter's Lodge, you would know, it would be kind of similar to what Auburn said about the Ranger readout. It could maybe house the people that you have with you, but it would be a tight fit. That's it. I mean, it's going to be bigger than the Ranger readout. It's like an actual like a kind of a house.
Right.
It's like a house that a hunter would live in permanently, but it's been abandoned for a while now, and you know that just because you can see it every time you pass by that area. You can see in the distance there's it just keeps getting more and more run down as the years go by. The Gristledown would probably be your best bet. It's also probably the furthest option away that would require the most travel, and you don't know what they've told you about things that have happened. You don't know what new dangers might be in the way if you head there, because you've been in this area, yes, but it seems that very recently some bad things have happened. You don't know if maybe there are things patrolling, so you might think maybe we should go with a small group, just make sure that there's a good path, and then maybe we could all go together. But yeah, that's the furthest option probably. The farm is the nearest one, but again, that would mostly be just for supplies. It's not much of a shelter. And then the second nearest one would have been the hermit, but again, not so much supplies, more of just a shelter.
So we've got a farm to check out. We've got the hermit to check out. We've got Gristledown. We've got the Rangers Relay, it was called?
Readout.
Okay. And then there was one more. What was the last one?
I wrote them all in the chat. Ranger Readout, Abandoned Farm, Gristledown, Hunter's Lodge, and the Hermit's Shack.
So hearing this, I'm just nervous about places like the farm, because I feel like that would be if the hobgoblins spread out and start moving. I don't know if they would go into the Fangwood or not, but I think it would be better to avoid any place that might draw attention. And I don't know if a farm with crops would be a place that they would try to go after. I'm not sure. Because I'm sure
Gristledown is far away, right?
Yeah, it's a couple of miles. I can try to eyeball it here, but it's maybe 15 or so miles away.
Yeah. The others are all closer.
The farm is probably within 5 or so miles. The hermit is similarly distanced, but because of how hex maps work, it's technically farther. The ranger readout that Auburn is telling you about is almost as far away as Gristledown in the opposite direction. What she's been telling you, because that's to the southeast and Gristledown is to the northwest. And then the shack, the hunter's shack that you know about, is deeper into the Fangwood, also kind of in the opposite direction of Gristledown.
Where would they normally go when they retreat to the Fangwood?
They would normally just set up they would find some random shelter, either a cave or anything like that, in the Fangwood and wait out. But the thing is that normally speaking, there'd be a lot more people, so they could maintain a more, structured camp. But with the number of people that you have with you, that's not really possible. You don't have numbers that are so big that the local wildlife is gonna like be scared off. There's too few of you for that sort of a tactic. And yeah, like I was saying earlier, is that the terrain in the Fangwood can sometimes shift seasonally, so they never go to the same spot. They always just kind of try to find a suitable place, and generally they don't have to stay there that long. But the thing is that this attack happened nearing the end of winter, so you guys are kind of looking to wait almost a full year before you can maybe have the hobgoblins just be like, oh, it's too cold out, and leave. But you don't know if they'll do that. They're not the usual raiders, so this is kind of a new situation. They're not sure what to do.
And he'll be like, I know of some places, but I never stay in one place long. You would know, Oran. You taught me well. And he'll go through each of the options that he knows of that he's been to recently. I imagine you would like to be far from Phaendar.
Auburn kind of responds and she says, well, eventually, yeah, I think that would be best. I don't know how quickly they're going to secure the town and start sending patrols into the forest. I'm sure they'll do that eventually. I don't know if maybe we want to try to take our chances, maybe see if we can find anything closer to Phaendar before they start coming in. I don't know, if we wait too long, maybe going in that direction would be too dangerous, but I don't know. I mean, they did take the town. They probably have a lot of people there still. It's probably going to take them time before they can start chasing after us. So I don't know, maybe if we want to risk going closer there and check out some of the spots. I don't know. I'll leave that decision up to you guys. You guys would be the ones. I mean, we wouldn't have the whole group of us just searching around. So I'd leave that up to you guys if you want to take your shot and maybe take today looking in that direction, and hopefully they won't be on your tail yet.
I think if we scout around, that would be pretty good. And he'll look to his newfound group of companions. Yeah, they seem pretty good.
Trust me, Aiden, they won't be slowing you down. Except for maybe the dwarf over there. But you never know. He's quite a speedy fellow.
He'll look to Oran and give him a smile that's just kind of irritating, though. Let's see here. You always just pick one of the four that aren't towards the abandoned farm.
Well, so, like, I know Nyari said that, like, the farm wouldn't be, like, a good option to take the whole group, but, like, as far as, like, maybe at least getting supplies and food in the meantime, like, it might not be bad to try to get there first. That way, if the hobgoblins do go there, they're not going to find much. We can get whatever would be there, maybe, and scope it out. And maybe because it is a little bit closer to Phaendar, maybe we could scout and get a little, like, a better readout on what's going on in Phaendar. I don't know how close it is, but
so while we're doing stuff, can we organize the NPCs to do stuff while we're away?
Absolutely, yeah. So while you four are exploring the hex map, while you guys are doing that, you can kind of direct NPCs, kind of like imagine like leaving orders and then like putting Auburn in charge, and then she'll carry out whatever orders you guys want. So you can do both. You don't have to have people in the camp in order to direct the NPCs there. So yeah, you can send them to do their tasks and then go out and adventure and explore on your own.
I probably should have many of them start hunting.
Yeah, so
fishing.
I was going to say we should have half of the survivors start foraging for food, and then maybe another few building more shelters, and then maybe one or two to try and find livestock.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
and
sounds like a reasonable plan.
Yep, and just so you know, you have all the skills listed there. So in order to forage or hunt, they would be using survival.
No, no,
Wait,
please
does-
don't. Please.
Is Nyari a druid now with a cat companion?
Right?
Apparently, I've
You
got
do
2 of
see it.
them. They've been circling my laptop.
You do see a number of wildlife that, as this conversation's going, they're just kind of crawling all over her face.
I don't know
Um,
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah,
Nyari,
but
I had
like
no idea you were so good with animals.
Just not turtles.
Quickly makes note.
yeah, if you want to direct people to like build temporary shelters and tents until you guys find a more permanent location, that's a craft or survival check.
Where's the
And,
list of what type of people we have, of survivors we have? Like,
I
know we
have
That's
that.
a separate.
Yeah,
It's a
so if you
separate
go to the
document.
journal, if you go under the
Try the one I
party
just put in the
information
chat.
tab, there's a handout for NPC tracker, and that will give you all that information. So you have a good number of commoners and warriors, and you have like 1 adept, 1 aristocrat, and then all the named NPCs. So you have a lot of people who could go out and try to use like handle animal to get some animals, some livestock. You have a good number of people with survival to try to forage or hunt for food. And you have a couple people with craft who could try to set up tents. So you can implement all of those as you see fit. The DCs are listed under each action. Most of them are like DC 10, and then for every little bit that you exceed, you get additional bonuses. You can have the NPCs take 10 on these checks, or you can roll for it and hope that they roll really high and get a really big bonus. If the skill is listed as one of their class skills, they get a +4 bonus to it. If it is not, they get a -2. So if you try to get them to do something that they don't have a skill in, then even taking 10, they're not going to meet the DC. You'd have to make them roll on it. You could maybe have them try to aid, but they'd still have to roll on it to hit a 10 because a -2 won't let them get there. But with a +4, most of them you can just say this person takes 10 on the forage, so they get 2 provision points, maybe, because the DC is 10, and if you exceed it by 2, you get another one or something like that. So you can think about how you want to go about doing that.
I can tell you what I think about. I wish I was Elwood.
So, am I understanding this correctly? That even though La Rosa and Tydell seemed to be like rangery type, like technically they can't do any sort of survival or scouting or anything because they're warriors, so they don't have that skill.
Technically speaking, yes, that is correct. They are listed as warriors,
Okay,
and for some reason, warriors only get handle animal.
What's
interesting.
very dumb.
Wasn't my decision. I'm just typing up what's in the book.
Except that you're the DM and you could have decided otherwise.
GM Fiat.
Decided against doing that.
So at
right.
the end of the day, it was your choice.
It was my choice, aided by the people who wrote the book.
Okay, so I think our group should actually go away from the camp and try to like check out some of these areas. And in the meantime, I think like some people should. I'm just trying to figure out who can do what.
That's what
I'm working on that right now.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Oren's got his journal out and he's kind of marking down names.
Yeah, oh
He's
yeah,
like-
he's got that hammer and tong out, and he is making new names.
He's like, you, what's your name?
You,
What are you good at?
Go over
Hey.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
I like
got
this.
paper, and I'm working on it.
I like that.
I like that Oran's kind of, in a clerical sense, taking charge of the duties.
Oh my gosh.
That was. Oh dear.
Dude, adepts are just useless though. Like
Yeah.
like beyond just fighting, they're useless. Or healing people, they don't have a purpose.
Spellcraft is really important since, I don't know, no one in the party can do it for no reason.
What am I gonna
Hey,
set them to
while-
do spellcraft?
while-
with?
while we're on that
arcane
topic,
spellcasters. Or not arcane, but
Can Nyari look at that potion that we got that we weren't able to tell what it was? And
Oh,
can
I
we
also
Sure.
try to
can I
tell what that
also-
was?
yeah. Can I request that luck roll?
Oh yeah, I
for-
forgot about that.
I didn't. It didn't
Yes.
seem appropriate to bring it up earlier.
So Josh had brought up the idea that maybe Elwood would have thrown that necklace that you didn't identify to Oran as he ran away, realizing that he wouldn't be making any use of it. And I said, well, you didn't say that, but it does make sense. So I'm like, well, I'll leave it up to a roll. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that there's a 50-50 chance that he had the presence of mind to do that. So I'm going to have Josh roll it. He's going to roll a D100. If the result is a 1 to a 50, Oran has the necklace. If it is a 51 to a 100, Elwood had it, and it is not with you any longer.
Technically, he got revived. Well, no, actually, the mass damage rules.
No, yeah, you died before that kicked in.
That's crazy. You did so much over damage that even with a moderate heal, I just flat out died.
Yep.
Yep.
That's nasty.
Essentially beheading. There's
So
no
go ahead
coming
and
back from
roll.
that.
Go ahead and roll that D100, Josh. Oh,
There we
he
go.
rolls within
Nice.
1 to 50. So Oran, you have the necklace on you. So yeah, any of you who want to, you can try to reattempt spellcraft on the items you didn't identify because it has been a day.
I have
This
a
is
rank now.
My
in
first time too.
spellcraft. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have a
Fun
rank
ranks
this
in
time.
spellcraft.
Look at you two being able to do something.
Oh shoot!
We finally both put ranks in it, and
Man,
what do we get? 10. Okay,
And
so
press
I
two.
yell at one of the adepts to get over here, and we
Yeah.
all crowd around and look at this necklace
What's
to
this
figure out what
potion?
it is. And then the potion too.
Okay. So what I'll say happens is we'll just say that Oran and Nyari were aiding Theros, and you get all
Yeah.
the other adepts
Yeah.
in the camp to also aid. So
Yeah.
everybody is just huddled around this. So are we
Studying
identifying the
this
potion or the necklace? What are we identifying here first?
the potion.
Okay. Everybody is huddled around this vial. Just like Oran's holding it in his hand. There's like 10 people circled around it. They're all like hands to chin. Like
The
"Ooh,
embarrassing part, watch Vane just know what it, or Jin just know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys spend like a couple minutes looking it over, and Theros eventually comes to a conclusion, and it is a potion of invisibility.
Oh my gosh,
Whoa.
that would have been helpful.
And
Yeah.
as you say that, Theros, Jin is over there chuckling because he did know all along.
Ah,
Yeah, Jin, I knew you knew. I didn't know. Like
Ugh.
Aiden didn't know. Josh Allen knew.
So invisibility is 3rd level. So is that,
The spell is
or I guess potions have
second
a different.
level. Second
Yes.
level spell, right?
Second level spell. So it's
So
an
it'd be a
expensive item.
3rd level spellcaster.
Yeah.
So it is
So-
a 3-minute duration invisibility potion.
And it is 2 times 3, 6 times 50,
Oh yeah, it's
300.
yes.
Okay.
That is accurate.
Oh.
Do you want to roll another spellcraft on the necklace, which you
Oh,
technically
yes.
already know, but in character you don't?
Yeah.
100%. One moment.
Hey, good roll that time.
no,
All right,
it is
I'm
now.
gonna aid. I
Okay.
do not aid.
Okay.
We're good. I'm pretty sure I got it on my roll.
What are you good
Tried.
for? An 8. What are you good
Okay.
for? A 6.
Still not good at spellcraft.
Yeah, so this time everybody's huddled around this necklace, and some of you guys are just like, nope, not even gonna try it. I don't know what that is. And Oran, though, you are able to figure it out this time. The DC, I believe, for these sorts of things is 15 plus the caster level, so it's definitely not a 6th level caster level item. And you do identify it as an Aegis of Recovery, so you now officially know its uses. You know that if you're wearing it, when you go down, it'll cast basically Cure Moderate Wounds on you. You know that if you're wearing it and you're under a persistent effect, like Hold Person or something, you get a bonus to your save every round to try to get out of that persistent effect. I think it also works on maybe poisons and disease. I don't know if it works on mundane stuff or if it's only magical effects. But you can look up an Aegis of Recovery. I can type it in here.
Yeah, I marked
He turns and looks at Nyari and is just like, Lassie, take this, and throws it at her.
Oh, now you want
Lassie?
to give me a special magic item?
Maybe it'll keep you off the ground during a fight.
So you get to decide what I can and can't keep now?
Indeed.
When did you become a feminist? This is great. You
like-
get to decide what I wear? Is
She'll-
that what you're telling me right now?
So she'll
Really?
take it and she kind of like
But he
scoffs, but then
explains what
like
it is.
she'll like go behind a tree later and like kind of put it on and like tuck it in so that nobody can see it. She's like trying to be all like tough, like,
Hide it.
oh yeah, I don't need this. I don't need this magic item. And then she's like,
This isn't even
Uh,
necessary.
no, I feel like the bear should take it.
Well, he only got knocked out the one time. in the shack.
Yeah, but he's the one that's doing all of our damage. Nobody
know.
else can hit.
If I recall, tavern, it's a temple, almost at the bridge. I'm kidding.
Just like my rogue. Not much has changed.
So
Do
yeah, so you
know
guys.
it crumbles to dust after its secondary use to bring you back.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep, the healing is a one-time use.
and then it's gone.
Yep.
Mhm. Yep.
It's not a terribly expensive item.
Okay.
Does Oran feel any remorse for the fact that, you know, it was on Elwood and now it's not, and maybe it might have saved him?
Wouldn't have saved him though.
That is
doesn't
up
know
to
that.
you. I think you would
Yeah.
probably know that it 100% wouldn't have like actually saved him. Like totally was gonna die no matter what, because he stayed behind. So
That's true.
it would have maybe helped him last longer, maybe at best.
That's true. It might have done that, Oren.
So is
Well,
there
I
anything else
don't
that you
have
guys-
it, so
Yeah.
I don't feel bad at all.
Well,
Anything else that you guys have to identify, or is that just those two things?
I
Really?
think it was just those two
Okay.
things because we got all of those alchemical supplies, which I'm assuming that Jin could just tell us what they are, because
Yeah.
because you
And-
just you read them off. So
Yeah, and if you guys want, we can put the NPC management side of this for like an out of game. Like if you guys want to just have your
Yeah.
characters choose a place to look at it, and
Yeah.
after this session, we can all discuss like what you want every single NPC to do, rather than taking up time.
yeah,
I
we
was
can
gonna
do
say,
that.
instead of session time, let's set like a due date. Your orders are due by then, and this is what the NPCs were doing, kind of thing.
I like that. Yeah.
So maybe
homework.
yeah, homework in the classical sense. We'll figure out a day that works good, so you still have time to take those orders and figure out what happens, and then by that next session, we can be like, this was accomplished, this wasn't, and it could just be a side game that we do. It's great.
Okay, so what is going to be your order of exploration then?
Well, real quick, I want one last role play moment.
Sure, sure.
While they're doing all of that, Aiden's gonna go and like talk to Auburn the Green, because she's really all he has left, and he's gonna be like, "So Auburn, when is the next group coming?"
Aiden, I know this is a bit hard to process, but as far as I know, there are no other groups. What you see here, the 30 or so of us that made it out, we're the only ones. It was a swift assault unlike we have ever seen before, and we're lucky that we made it out at all.
That doesn't make any sense. Why would you lie to me like that?
Aiden, I know you're angry. Perhaps what you need to do is you need to take the others and go look at Phaendar for yourself. You might have a chance today, get to the edge of the forest and just look at it. And then I think you'll understand as soon as you see for yourself.
Fine. I will do that. This is a cruel joke. And he'll join up with the rest of the group.
Okay.
Nyari looks at her stealth and says, "I don't know if that's a good idea."
Yeah, it's not gonna be an easy sell to get the three of us to walk back to Fandar.
Didn't work out so well in the shack.
Yeah, could be a hard
Well,
sell.
Well, you do know that it is 300 feet between the edge of the forest and the bridge.
Right.
So
he could see, in theory, from the edge of the forest
Yeah.
and look to the town. You wouldn't have to actually approach the town.
Maybe we
Correct.
could go destroy the bridge now.
That's an option.
Grab
That's
that
You guys,
not
could,
an
you guys
option.
could try to make a mad dash back to the bridge. Maybe they haven't set up a very strong guard yet. It's only, I mean, they've only had one night to establish themselves. That's definitely an option that you guys can consider.
Yeah. I know you were joking, but we have kind of a bit of a sandbox, guys. Are you ready to take control of the narrative? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, at this point, I'm going to stop talking. And once you guys decide what to do, you can just let me know, and I'll just sit back and I'll listen to what you guys are saying.
So much power.
Yeah, Aiden will walk over and he'll be like, I should like to see Fhaendar for myself. You do not need to accompany me for that, but perhaps we could see the farm on the way, and you could grab yourself some supplies.
Well, I don't have any better options than that, so I think if everyone else is okay, then we can take one last look at Fhaendar and then leave.
I do not think it wise, my friend, to venture anywhere near that place again, but if you must to find some kind of closure, I will join you.
You've always been kind, Theros. And you, dwarf, what's your name?
Oran.
Well then, Oran, and the rest of you, it is a pleasure to be meeting. I think these are weird circumstances. Okay.
Well, when we first met, it was a rather weird incident ourselves. Almost mistaking Volus for your quarry.
Yes, I apologize still.
This is nothing. He would not have fallen to a mere arrow.
Well, I don't know. I'm pretty good with a bow.
You're not that good. Have you seen
He's
this
really
bear?
not. he's not. He's not that good at all. Actually, just as a, mechanically speaking, not good. Yeah. So I think that is the direction we'll go.
What's the
And-
plan? I apologize. I missed it. What's the plan?
So we're gonna go just so this new guy can just see Fhaendar because he doesn't believe anybody that it's gone, and then we're gonna check
That
out
was
the
so
farm.
dismissive.
Yeah, like 30 dudes, 30 people just hanging out in a forest, all beraggled, no supplies. But no, we're making it up. We're
Yeah,
making it up. Didn't
Trust
happen.
me. Yeah.
Didn't happen. We all look like a haunted ghost face of what just
Tears
happened.
aren't real.
We spent 9 hours fighting for our lives, and you can very
Guys!
much see it in our faces. But this guy, this punchable face guy, is just like,
Did you not
Did
hear
it happen,
anything with those
though?
giant ears of yours?
yeah, right.
What Theros was thinking on the inside, but he didn't actually say.
What did you say? What did you
I
say?
said, did you not hear anything with those giant ears of yours?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this is great. We're gonna get along so fine. I think I'll replace Elwood on the team. You know?
Yeah, right. Think again,
Me and-
little kid.
I was gonna say, me and Nyari will finally bond over a mutual hatred of you.
See, whose turn is it to punch him in the face today?
Right, right.
With pleasure.
Hatred is what knits us together.
Shall we be off then?
I think I'm going to leave my horse and his supplies, I believe. Let me make sure that is
Are you
safe.
sure? You know, maybe I could use the horse since there's a very racist rule in this particular AP whereby my little legs apparently can't keep up with everybody else.
Well, even if you move faster, Aiden would still slow you down because of his armor. So
I just picture you like power walking, like not actually running, just like power
Right.
walking through the forest.
To be fair, we
Elves are
would need
natural sprinters.
2 horses. And although my horse is capable of offering a ride to someone, he is a pack horse, technically. So. A porter horse, as I have decided to name them, because that's cooler and less realistic.
Faster
But-
than my little baby legs.
So as you guys are deciding where to go, basically how movement's going to work is from whatever tile you're currently on, you can just tell me a direction. So like the way that these tiles are kind of set up, it's going to be like northeast or northwest, or just straight east, straight west, or southeast, southwest type of a thing. Just so I know which of the 6 directions from the tile you're going. And you guys know that the farm is to the southwest.
This
in
is
my-
Fhaendar here, and this is the bridge.
Yeah.
That's
It's to the
here.
southwest. You don't know exactly what tile it is on, but you know it's to the southwest.
I do not advise that we go by way of the bridge. I say we head straight south and then cut over east and then head back west. I mean, west and then east.
West and then east.
Yes. So like south to get south of the bridge and then cut over below the bridge, because I don't want to stand at the forest edge, like right where the bridge is across. Does
Here?
that make sense? Yeah, like I don't want to be here because like if they're going to be moving, they might have congregated on the other side of the bridge right here. So I'm saying like if you want to see Fhaendar, like maybe come down here and see it from this vantage point rather than like dead on here.
Okay. Do we get a sense? We know that it's in the southwest. I'm just imagining it's somewhere in this region. That is this farm, or how close to Fhaendar is it?
As far as Aiden is concerned, that is a pretty good guess.
Right about there. And he'll just be like, the shortest distance between 2 places is a straight line. So why not do that?
1 second, let me just make sure that Aiden's intelligence is high enough for him to know that.
Nyari's
It's not-
is not.
It's not negative. It's
Yeah,
it's
no, I'm just joking. You're fine.
Do I not understand geometry? Like what?
Listen, I know you don't believe us that Fhaendar has fallen, but I saw it with my own eyes and I experienced it. And if we are not very careful, we'll have a horde of 20 plus hobgoblins on our tail. We need
Okay.
to take this slowly and carefully if we're going to do it at all.
Okay, I understand. We will do it your way.
I'm not saying that we should do it my way. I'm just saying we need to be very careful. We're not exactly the quietest bunch, and the woods are thick and difficult to traverse.
Don't worry. We can. It will be okay.
I do not share your optimism, but do not lose that.
And he'll smile and will lead the troop as he navigates them through the woods. And occasionally he'll be like, be careful. Don't step there. Watch out for that. Oh, be quiet. Blah, 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 as they're walking down.
Okay, so everybody roll a, what did I say it was, survival check to see
That
how
is-
far you can move? Yes, so you can all aid one person or
Who-
roll individually if you want.
I
Who
have a
has
lot of
that?
survival, like 9.
Do you
Mine is
really?
6.
Yeah.
Six.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I only have a 4, so I'll try to aid. I'll try to aid
So
Oran.
aid Oran, yeah.
Oran, of all people, is the one with the highest survival. Wow. I will
What is
also.
this?
That
He was-
is
he was an orphan. You know, he had
definitely
to learn to
an
fend for himself.
Aid? Oh, and half my level to track. I'm not sure that's in there or not. It is. Not.
I
Add 1 to that.
So everybody does aid. So Oren's total check comes out to a 26, which is enough to meet the 8 hex requirement. So with this being forest terrain, you can move 4 of these forest hexes.
This way, this way, this way, this way. We'll head south.
Okay, so you're going let's see
Here?
Okay.
Here, this
yep.
edge.
Yep.
We can go one at a time. So
mm-hmm.
this edge, this edge.
Okay.
And I had guessed it's southwest, like kind of pretty much there. But I know that they want to go more south, so we'll continue that. I know that hex exploration, you're gonna veer to the left or the right, but really
Mhm.
it's kind of like we're going down a straight line here. If you
Once you get to that hex, you know that you've pretty much gone as far south as you need to meet the farm. So in order to get to the farm on this trip, you'd have to start heading due west.
to here or down to here.
You don't need to go any further south. You would know that. With
So,
the
yeah.
survival rolls that you all did and Aiden's knowledge of the area, you know that you don't need to go any further south to hit
there a way to-
the farm unless you wanted to take a round trip and hit it like the next day.
Is there a way to change my ring color? Because otherwise nobody can see my ping in the dark.
There it is.
Yeah.
Legit though, how do you
Uh,
ping? I don't even remember.
You just hold down.
On the
Like, hold down
sidebar,
on
if
the
you
map?
go to the icon with the brush and then change that first color icon to something else, I believe that will.
Oh, is that what
Do
does
it.
it?
So
You can change your color on your thingamajiggy too if you want.
nope,
your-
that didn't do it.
Oh wait, no, that just draws a
Down
shape. I didn't mean
down on
to
the
put
bottom
that.
of this screen, in the bottom left where your video is a color changer.
Oh, I tried clicking that the first time and it didn't work. Yeah, that's how you do it.
Wait, how?
Down in the bottom left and the bottom right corner of your video is a little color wheel. that
Oh,
you
there
can
it
s-
is.
I can boop everything now. Fireworks.
I will change.
Wow.
I will change mine to bright red because I am the enemy.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm still drawing. Jason, get rid of
Oh my
those.
goodness.
Its frustration is evident.
Okay. So what's the next hex that you're going to?
Here.
Okay. Yep.
That
So
is.
this is your third. I'm drawing, aren't I?
Yes,
No,
you
it
are.
is.
I don't see it. I don't see the drawing.
Okay. Well,
While he's figuring that out, this is random. Have any of you played the indie game Firewatch?
I have not,
No.
but I've heard it's good.
Surprisingly so. Me and my buddies were chilling on Discord last night, and one of them was just streaming while he was playing, and I stopped the game I was playing to watch, and I was like, man, that was not a bad choice. It was very fun.
okay.
Does
So
this
you have
remind
one
me of
more
that?
hex.
All this woodland exploration.
Yeah,
Yep.
it did.
Okay.
We're going there.
Okay.
Yeah. If you think more due west to get to where we're trying to go, we found.
Ooh.
You've got him on edge, Jason.
The
Each
poverty-stricken
reveal-
dwarf knows where he's going.
As you
Smell
guys
the food.
as you guys start heading west there, Aiden, you know that you're getting very close, and eventually you do kind of come to a little bit of a break in the trees, and there is a small farm that you see. And let me just find out which map that is. I've got like
Oh
12 maps.
no, not a
Got like-
map.
We don't
Got
have to
like-
worry until he says
Jason.
roll initiative. Until he
I
says
didn't
roll
say-
initiative, we're good.
I didn't say have a map.
How
I
did we miss
said
this on the way last night?
Yeah, right? Like, what kind of path did we take that we didn't pass by
You
the
guys were making a
farm?
mad dash. You have no.
I
We're
got
all
it.
We ran
serpentine.
through the
Here.
field without noticing.
We
without
went up
realizing it.
here.
Only two of you
Yeah.
could see in the dark. So
I know.
maybe Oran and Kining did see it, and they just didn't say anything to the others who had no clue where they were going.
The Benny Hill
Right.
theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
maybe something like that.
So you guys come up to a farm here. Let me just start revealing the farm.
Ooh.
I am not gonna lie. I
wall
thought this was a
here.
body.
In hindsight, maybe I should have kept my horse with me because he could have pulled the cart. I didn't think of that.
With all
Oh, yeah.
those pumpkins.
Yeah, I
Okay.
forgot that we were going to get supplies, but I'm not sure he would have that thought.
There's pigs.
Yeah, so you guys can place
Yeah.
yourselves somewhere on this road here at the bottom.
Down here?
And yep, if you're not sure how to do that, you can just drag your character from the side to the screen.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Sorry, didn't mean to move you.
By the way, I was going to ask, could you add a graveyard to our journal so I can move Erickson off of my control and to
Oh,
rest?
I didn't understand where you're going with that.
Yeah. No. Or even, what's the lawful good place? Is that heaven or Elysium? I think it's Elysium.
That's not what I wanted to do. Lawful good, I think, is heaven.
It's heaven. It is heaven. That's what
If I had to make a guess,
I
that
think
is what
Ely-
my guess would be.
I think
think
that's
it
where
would
Iomade is anyway, isn't it? Isn't her realm called heaven?
Yeah.
Let me just move Erickson up there. Okay.
Deceased characters. Sounds so
Oh.
callous.
That sounds a little. Yeah, it is heaven.
Would you like
That's
me
so
to change
Jason,
it?
though.
Would you like me to change it to graveyard?
the boneyard is where he's now. Well, actually, he's not even there. He's on the River of Souls, and even that, he's probably not, depending if he's at all tethered to this realm. Who knows where he actually is in the afterlife? But he's en route to heaven. So
Okay. So you guys approach this farm. What do? You see that there are a couple of small fields here. There looks like there's animals over there, but I don't think there are actually animals over there.
you don't know. Maybe there are.
I mean, I do actually know.
Can I roll a perception check to see if there's any?
Absolutely.
If I can hear or see any threats nearby? Alright.
Absolutely. Roll your perception check.
Not great.
May I as well?
Yeah,
Once I
everybody
rolled a
can.
4.
Perception.
Oh my gosh. I need to stop rolling after people because I'm just going to roll the same thing.
Forget I know things about these stone walls.
Yes. You know that they are in great
Made of stone.
disrepair. Okay, so you guys are all looking around, perceiving. You don't see anything out of the ordinary. You don't hear anything out of the ordinary. You see basically an abandoned farm. It's got like a tumble down chimney and it's overgrown with like apple trees and other foliage. It's very much been abandoned for a long time.
We don't see vegetation, or do we like plant like?
You do see vegetation. Yeah, like it's getting overgrown because nobody's here to like push anything back.
I'm gonna make my way towards the house. I don't
Okay.
pick vegetables.
I don't
Nyari
do
will-
vegetables.
Yeah, Nyari will basically like come up behind just and say we can secure the area first and then
Scared the
Okay,
Scared me.
as you guys get to this point
Oh,
between
jeez.
the two,
roll initiative.
Jesus,
Oh, boy.
crow, Jace, haven't we suffered enough?
Once you
Can't it
get to
just
there-
be
JK, I'm back
story
here.
from here out?
so once you guys get to this area, basically, you start to hear something coming from this field over here.
Draw my great
You,
sword.
you didn't hear it from before,
It's a scarecrow.
but you hear, well, it's
Mom
much
moving
worse
on
than a
its own?
scarecrow.
Oh gosh.
Oh
It's a
my
pumpkin
gosh.
man.
You
It's a
hear
magical beast?
a buzzing noise.
Oh, it's a swarm.
Swarm! I'm not equipped for a
And
swarm.
as
my
you look
gosh.
over there, you see a mass of bees and wasps
Oh my
flying into the air.
god.
And let me just find that token here for you guys because it's gonna be
Gosh.
it's gonna be
Can
it's gonna be good.
Can I metagame for 2 seconds?
Depends.
Okay.
You can say what you want to metagame, and I will decide whether I'll allow it.
I want to ask the party members if they have particular items in their inventories.
The answer is no.
Darn. This is going to be really bad.
Well, I will say
That's like
that
my worst nightmare.
I
hate
couldn't
it.
remember if any had survived or not, or if they were lost to Elwood.
Alchemist Fire is on Theros.
I did actually look at your inventory to see if that was there.
Yeah. So splash
mean,
weapons good.
No.
Against
He-
swarms.
He can roll a knowledge check. I just wasn't sure if we could even win this fight at all. So, yeah. They're new players, so let them.
I'm getting flashbacks to Jason's one-shot tournament thing that he did with swarms, where like none of us could do anything against it.
Can you believe that none of us? We were 6th level, and all of us had forgotten to carry splash weapons. What?
Yeah.
Awful.
Okay, so everybody roll initiative.
Init. Get that initial.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Y'all
Why?
are broken.
Ooh.
Why is it always under 5 with my
This-
initiative? I've never gotten a good initiative roll, not once.
This is the first roll of the campaign for Aiden. I'm gonna hope for a 15 or higher.
No.
Yay.
Hope,
You didn't first
hopefully,
said anything, and then it would have been fine.
hopefully, this will not be indicative.
Just don't call
Oh.
out your rolls from now on.
Oh, I still will. Nothing like setting yourself up for disappointment. Else, what's life? What's living?
Okay,
Or
so
ambition?
going first is the swarm.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
no!
Oh my god.
This is so bad.
It's really not going to be great.
It's actually surprisingly bad.
So it
Do you
can
want to explain
move-
swarm rules to them?
I will in 2 seconds.
Yeah, it won't
Yeah,
take
it
long for us to discover what swarms can do. Like literally one turn.
I will
I'm so
put that to
scared.
back so it's behind you guys.
Oh my god.
So here's what happens. So for those of you who don't know, this is a diminutive swarm, which means it is immune to all weapon damage, but it takes half again as much damage, so 50% extra damage from AoE effects. So Alchemist Fire. If you have Burning Hands, which none of you have, I don't believe, anything that hits on an area will deal a lot of damage to these things. Anything that targets a single creature is just not going to work. So that is why they're immune to weapon damage, basically. And they do not make attack rolls. They move onto your square and just deal passive damage as long as you are on there. So this swarm flies onto this grouping of 3 people, and each of you are going to take 4 points of damage.
Oh my.
Just wait, guys. Just wait.
And I need all of you to make a fortitude save.
There it is.
Oh,
Who knew that
my
was coming?
word.
Serenity.
Oh
Ooh.
There we go. Way to go.
Okay, so with a DC 13,
No, Oran. Did you get your domain protection bonus
I'm
added in
pretty
correctly?
sure that's added in. Hang on. Yeah, it is. It's already added in.
Curses.
let me just look at Oren's sheet real quick to make sure I understand how certain things work.
no. I mean, that's concerning.
Okay, so Oren, you have a racial trait as a dwarf called Hardy, which gives
Oh,
you a +2
yeah.
racial bonus against saving throws against poison spells and spell-like abilities. This is a poison.
Hey.
So with that +2 bonus, you actually succeed the DC 13.
Just me.
Should have been
Yeah.
a dwarf,
Nyari,
Nyari.
Nyari, you are stung by dozens of bees and their little poisonous poison. You take 1 point of dexterity damage.
Do I just
And,
manually move my score down or temp? Temp?
You can do temp if you want. I think that works.
Oh dear, that nope. Temp means -1. There you go.
Okay, so you take 1 point of dexterity damage, and that is the swarm's turn.
Is that a continuing effect?
Yeah, no, that
the
won't go away
poison
for a
will be
while.
she will roll on that poison every turn. If she takes additional doses of poison while she's already poisoned, it gets much worse.
At
But you
first
do
I
have that-
thought,
Aegis of Recovery, which should give her +2 against that, right?
oh,
+2 resistance bonus on all saving throws made to recover from a continuing effect such as ongoing poison damage.
What?
Yes.
So
in the
Okay.
future,
Red-
Life again.
yeah.
She's too busy dying from bee stings to care.
Well,
Right.
unfortunately,
thought-
it won't take on the first round. It didn't make
Right.
a difference anyway.
Yeah.
It might help later. Right.
Next up, it is Theros and Volus. And I believe Theros is the one with the Alchemist's Fire, but he's also... all of his allies are right where he needs to
All
throw
right,
it.
guys, this is gonna hurt. No kidding.
Yeah, right. Do it.
Oh, gee, man. I don't even know what I can do against that. Can't very well. How much would Alchemist Fire hurt them?
So they would get hit by the splash damage, which means they would take 1 point of fire damage. However, I will let you know, so one option that you have is that you could hold your turn. So you can voluntarily not go, let all of them go, and then take your turn. For the rest of the combat, you'll go in that initiative order. But if you want, you can just lower your initiative, basically. Hold
if
your turn
you-
until they go.
You also look here, you will be within range of the first range increment of a thrown weapon once you take a 5-foot step. So what he said is all true.
So I could take a 5-foot step here. And then hold.
Just wait your whole turn instead. Just
Okay.
don't do anything.
Yeah.
But if you want to do that, you can do that, or you can just throw it while they're there. That's fine.
You could also move and ready in action if he knows for sure he wants to go after we all leave, because they already acted in the initiative order, so you're not going to get interrupted.
Yeah, I'll ready an alchemist fire and just and hold my turn.
Okay. So Nyari, you are next, as Theros is holding his turn.
Turns out Nyari says, "I will never run away again." No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
She's actually gonna run away. She's
or you
gonna.
have like a paladin with the code that you'll never turn your back on a creature. It's like,
Yeah,
no,
all
won't
right,
do it.
no. Yeah, she's gonna get out of dodge. Because she's basically on fire. And then I don't know if she would know this. I, as a player, am not convinced magic missile works against swarms. Because I think that targets a single creature.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
So
it does.
there's literally nothing I can do.
I
Literally.
guess you'll just have to look around and use your environment.
So yeah, I
Don't tell me how to
will.
role play my character, Jason.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you what Nyari does.
Yeah. I guess I'll just. Can I look around to see if there's anything around me that would be effective? Is there any like bee spray lying on the ground?
Looking around, you do not see anything out here.
Okay.
You don't know if maybe there's something useful inside of the farm.
Yeah, you're just pushing me to go that direction, aren't you? I'm sure you are.
I am just letting you know what your options are.
All right, well, that will be my turn for now. Is just actually, I'm gonna double move to get even further back.
Okay. Next up, it is Aiden. Aiden.
Aiden in English, but it's more of an Aiden.
Aiden. Okay.
The A is drawn out, but I haven't been pronouncing it right because still working on the voice.
Okay, so it is your turn. What do you want to do?
20 feet of movement for myself, right, in my current armor.
That is correct.
And I said that I had my greatsword out, but I lied. I meant my bow. Doesn't matter because he's not going to shoot it. And I want to also check my surroundings for anything immediately useful. He's used to the woods. Maybe he can find something resourceful and turn the tables to his advantage.
Okay, again, with your perception checks from before, again, there's the whole farm is kind of dilapidated and overgrown. You're not seeing anything. Like, are you looking for anything specific? What do you think you're looking for to try to use?
I didn't roll a check before.
Oh, you didn't roll a perception check? Yeah, you can roll a perception check now if you want.
Yeah. So that didn't help.
No, it did not. Just so you know, the DC to notice the swarm before it came out was 20, and none of you hit that.
None of us quite got
Nice.
it. And I am thinking. I think he's thinking he rather just not deal with it, and maybe he can get them to go away or something like that. So, for the remainder of my standard action, he'll just be looking around for something sweet or fruit or something like that, or I don't know, something to let them deal with it and then just leave.
Okay.
So I won't take anything else for the rest of my turn, and that's just a flavor action. So
Okay.
because I rolled the 9.
And then we have Oran, the last one still in the swarm.
Yeah, so I'm gonna. What's my movement distance?
It's 20 feet. Yes.
Same as me.
I am gonna charge over towards. Not charge, but run over to here.
Okay. The door is ajar, so you can just like kick it open on as you're charging inwards.
Unimpeded.
And
Yep.
then
It's barely even attached. Yeah. It doesn't even really take any effort to open.
nice. All right, so a channel negative energy, would that affect the swarm since it's kind of like a...
Can you channel negative energy?
Can I channel negative
I
energy?
don't. I believe a cleric has to choose positive or negative at first level, and they can't. I think they're stuck with the one.
And I think
I
it has
think
to be based on your deity.
Yeah,
your
I think
deity's
a
alignment.
good cleric has to channel positive. So
Okay,
you can
'cause it
channel
is-
positive to heal living or harm undead. I believe. I don't believe you can channel negative energy.
Okay.
Unless it says channel energy is ability. If you have a neutral deity, you can pick, and there's ways that you can get both in the future. Let me check. Channel energy.
No,
Sorry, it just-
if you're
it didn't
neutral,
help.
yeah.
Uh,
If you're neutral, you pick one, but you're stuck with the choice.
yeah. There's basically a feat in second edition that lets you get both, called having a versatile font. You can get heal and harm spells, which are based on your cleric's deity. But it takes a heavy investment to be able to do that.
Oh, okay. Because all I had was it said, regardless of alignment, any cleric can release a wave of energy by channeling the power of her faith through her holy symbol. Energy can be used to cause or heal damage depending on the type of energy channeled at the creature's level.
Yes.
Yes. So
But
if it was
strictly positive, though, is what
Yeah.
I am.
if it was undead, then you could channel positive energy to harm undead.
It just means that every cleric has the ability to channel some type of energy, but it is based on your alignment or your deity's alignment.
And at 20, am I actually technically here?
Yeah, you can be in there, and I can reveal more of the building here.
Beautiful. Oh, lovely. And guess a perception check. I just look
Sure.
around.
Roll a perception check. See how much you can notice in a short period of time.
Not much. It is a short period of time, after all.
It is a short period of time. You do not immediately notice anything particularly useful in here, unfortunately.
Maybe with stone cunning, he recognizes there's a cellar.
There is no cellar in this farm, just so you know.
Okay.
I know that it might look like that's a cellar over there. I'm
I
pretty
was
sure
just saying,
that's...
are those stairs up or stairs down?
They look
I-
down.
Gotta look at them.
You don't have to invent a cellar for us. If it
Yeah,
wasn't
no.
there.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
don't have
On
one
the
ready,
map.
it's fine.
Just
Yeah.
pretend that the
Those aren't there.
stairs are ornamental.
What?
It's just
Hang
going
on.
to the ceiling.
As Oran runs into this building, he perceives only that there are ornamental stairs in the corner, and quickly thinks to himself, I now understand why these farmers went out of business. They spent their money on ornamental stairs.
It's like there's a very clear ceiling and a very clear floor with no opening above or below. and
Right.
a flight of
Right.
stairs.
Extremely perplexed in this moment.
Oh my god.
Like some postmodern shelving unit.
And my
Okay,
turn.
so
Sorry.
yeah, so that is all that you see is ornamental stairs. Theros,
Yes.
everybody is now out of the way, and you readied an action to throw an alchemist fire.
Yeah. Can I hit it from there?
I believe you can. I think
No,
you're
20 feet.
30
So he's got to take
20
a 5
feet.
foot. I
Okay.
have 30 because I have the bomb chuckers.
okay.
It's an item that increases the range increment by 10 feet.
Yep. So in that case, with a 5-foot step, you can make your attack. An alchemist fire goes against touch AC, but these things have the same touch AC as their normal AC. So.
And unlike normal, you are actually swarms are weird. You're hitting that intersection, sort of, but not really.
What do I have to
So
roll
I-
for
weird.
that?
Like just
Roll
regular-
one d20 plus your base attack bonus plus your dexterity modifier.
Vials of oil have any extended effect on alchemist fire?
They
think
can
they
catch fire.
might.
Yeah, they can catch
Yeah.
fire. It's in the text of oil. If it's like basically if it comes into contact,
do
it
have
can be thrown as a
vials of oil, too.
splashed weapon that throws grease. That also can be used to catch on fire.
If lit, the oil burns for 2 rounds and deals 1d3 points of fire damage to each creature in the area. You can pour a pint of oil on the ground to cover a 5-foot square, provided that the surface is smooth. And I can't remember how, like the rules on lighting it, but reasonably speaking, you could hit it with an alchemist fire and it would catch fire.
Yeah, so if one of you wants to throw an oil next turn, then the next alchemist fire would
on
be
me
able
too.
to. Oh,
They're on him as well. Yeah.
well, I
not
guess
great.
somebody's gonna have to grab them from him or something.
Then I guess for this turn, I guess I'll throw one alchemist fire at the swarm, and
Okay.
we'll have to work on oil. I think.
I don't know how alchemist fire works in not an alchemist case. It's probably a move action to grab it, isn't it? Like a
Well, I
weapon?
mean, he can pull it out. He held his turn, so he can just
Right,
move action, pull out, and then standard action throw it.
right. I'm just thinking the action economy for future turns.
What did you say to roll again? 1d20.
1d20 plus your base attack bonus and your dexterity modifier.
Which for you, I can figure out while you're typing and just let you know.
Probably like a
One base.
Your dexterity modifier is a 2, and your base attack bonus is a 1. So +3.
All right. Here we go. That is terrible.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
That almost could not. That's almost the worst roll you could possibly get.
Okay. So it does not hit the swarm, but it does deal splash damage regardless.
And it'll hit that well, you have to roll for the intersection, I guess.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because any intersection will only hit the swarm.
Right.
There's no point in bothering with it. And there is a die on the screen.
Oh,
Interesting.
sorry. I didn't realize that you can drag dice from the chat, so I was messing around with that.
So
My
yeah,
bad.
so that does deal some splash damage to the swarm.
How can you drag dice? That's so cool, Sarah.
I just picked up his 2 and I dragged it onto the map and it just put it there.
Oh yeah.
So that is Theros' turn. Do you have Volus do anything in particular?
How do I get it? Can you clean it up for me?
I think you can hit and like, oh, Josh, you can
Oh,
hit delete.
Yeah, just hit
Yeah.
delete.
I didn't see.
Can
the
you
delete key. Oh, anyway, Theros is going to tell Volus to aid him.
It's a hobgoblin trumpet or horn.
Oh, the
They're
music, yeah. Oh no! Don't say that. That's the last thing we need.
Okay, so we are back up to the wasp swarm here, and they just got hit by a little bit of fire damage they weren't too fond of. They're gonna move
It's me.
over to here onto all 3 of these people.
Yeah, I keep getting it.
Need to spread out more.
We do. That's how you deal with swarms, but
Wow,
Uh oh. That's not
that
good.
was almost max damage. That's 11 points of damage.
holy swarm!
I'm sorry.
Batman?
I was away. What's happening?
I rolled
Oh,
I rolled
no.
I rolled a
shoot.
6 and a 5.
Oh, dear
On
Lord.
2d6?
Yeah.
They do 2d6 damage?
Yeah.
This is a higher CR than a swarm of spiders.
I'm sorry. Are these weaponized hornets? Like have hobgoblins been?
So in a diminutive swarm that is flying, I think there are a certain number of thousands of them. So there's a lot of these bees.
Moogly.
Oh no.
And I
already started.
need the 3 of you there to roll fortitude saves.
Yep.
Does that include immunity to poison?
If you're immune to poison, then you're fine.
You just don't even roll. You just don't get poisoned.
Josh, just a quick side question. Have you prepared a 3rd character?
Oh no, sorry. I get a +2 trait
no.
bonus on fortitude saving throws against disease or
Just
poison. and
curious.
I had chosen poison due to my Blight Burn campaign trait.
Okay.
So
I was
Is
gonna
that
ask
built
which one you
into your?
chose.
Yeah, is that built into your roll,
no.
like into your modifier?
We can just add 2 afterwards. It's hard to. You can't
That's
really
true because
add
that's
that in.
situational. Holy crap, guys!
You probably didn't need it then. So 2 natural 20s. Volus also has to make one.
Oh, come on, bear.
We just got you back.
Listen,
That'd be so
frankly,
good.
I've already mourned for Volus, so it's
Listen, he is a member of this family, and you are going to.
I
No.
agree, but I've already mourned, so
No, since he's coming
Oh,
back,
my.
I really. Wow.
20,
Is that
20,
19?
19. Wow.
take
Yeah, you're
that.
all
Good
fine.
bear.
So that is the swarm's turn. Nyari, you're up. Unfortunately, all of the useful information is being items is being carried by one person.
Great team play, guys.
Yay, us. Typical of our behavior.
Well, to be fair, Elwood wasn't there. He would have definitely redistributed things as they ought to have been. But my current character is not as tactically inclined. He's a bit of a more of a lone ranger.
Let's just see here. What are we gonna do?
You could request aggro. Like, hey guys, don't
Throw
fight them.
silver dust at them.
Why would
Idiots.
I want aggro when I already am down 1 dex and
Literally any chance that you put a point into use magic device at all.
I don't have that as
Also,
a skill?
Roll a fortitude save
Oh.
for me real quick.
Oh balls!
You get
But I get a plus
get a
2.
plus-
you get a +2. You get a +2 on it. Okay.
Oh,
You
okay.
have cured the poison.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, that was,
good.
only
Oh,
takes one
good, oh,
save.
good.
That's good. That is
Oh,
One
good,
save,
good.
DC 13. Yep.
All right.
still no dex strain.
Let's see.
Well, she only took 1 point of damage, so she's technically unhindered.
Yeah. No matter
She's gonna
what
be
her-
like, "See ya." She's gonna go behind him.
Okay. Starting to make her way into the house.
Can a swarm?
Do
get
you
into
see
a
these
house?
stairs?
Like,
Do you see them?
Wow,
Iden.
that's really strange. I don't know why they did that.
imagine
Okay,
a
that's my
swarm could
turn.
still get inside, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nyari is done. Iden.
Whose turn is it now?
Yours.
Okay. Well, I was just I don't know. So I know quick draw won't work with alchemical items, but can I still grab one as part of a movement, like a weapon?
For now, I will say so.
I don't know what
What's the
actual
combat maneuver like?
Alchemical items, potions, scrolls, and wands cannot be drawn quickly using this feat.
Yeah, I already looked that up. The
Could he
quick
do
draw.
the steel combat maneuver?
I mean, you can go and you can grab something off of Theros. I mean,
No, I have my own oil.
Oh, yeah, then you can just throw that.
Right. Well, I'm saying it's on a bandolier. So
Yeah, you can draw it and then throw it. Do 5-foot step, draw, throw.
right, I couldn't take a movement and throw it. Is what I was asking.
I think maybe since your base attack bonus is 1, you could. Yeah, that's specifically for weapons.
That was my question.
I'm gonna say if you can't fast draw it with quick draw, then you probably can't draw it as part of movement.
Okay, makes sense to me. Well, only in game balance terms. In real life, no, it doesn't make sense at all. But
Well, it's because it's not as easily accessible as a weapon.
right, yep. So I pop it out, and seeing Theros do that, and he'll conceive of it as a good idea, and we'll try to get as many of them in some additional oil as he can. Maybe set them on fire a bit.
Okay, roll to hit on that intersection, which you really
Yeah.
shouldn't miss.
Come on now. This one is the one I should aim at to cover this 5-foot square. It says
Yep.
use the rules for splash, but I don't know
Yep.
how that'll. Yeah. Okay. Which will be a D20. I'm just gonna roll it from chat and then add the bonuses on top. So this plus numbers in a second.
Okay.
I got it.
That's fine. So you hit that and you cover a large portion, half of, in fact, you might say, the wasps in this swarm are now covered in a little bit of oil, and if they get hit again, that will
Set fire.
potentially catch them on fire. That is Aiden's turn. Oran, you're up. You're at the door of this building. You did a real quick perception check, but you didn't notice anything right away before.
I'll just 5-foot step over here.
Okay.
Is that a door? Am I looking at a door?
Yeah, that's a
Is that
door.
right? Okay.
You're in the
Hop
wall.
in the
That's what you
bed.
are.
Hop in bed and get in the covers.
The horses will never check the bed. Still just grossly confused by the staircase. I'm going to try to do another perception check.
Sure.
I'm gonna need you to roll sanity for seeing such a weird sight.
Right.
Okay. So that is enough to notice a number of things here. The one thing, so again, a lot of the things that you notice aren't going to be terribly useful in this situation. So there's there's a masterwork javelin that you see against the wall. There's a gem that looks to be pretty valuable that's on like a stand there. You see a pouch that looks like it's got coins in it, given the shape. And then you see a thin stick kind of just like under the bed a little bit.
Can I do I still have my move action?
Sure, yeah.
Am I able to move and pick up the stick?
I will allow it.
Okay, so I move and pick up the stick.
Okay.
It's actually a Wolverine's tail.
Ah!
Oh dear lord!
Honey badger tail. Right?
I found your next companion!
Actually, speaking of, I just have to, as an aside, call someone out, and I feel bad. No, I'll do it later. Don't be nervous about it though.
I
It's
heard
just
him say
funny.
partially Sarah, so it's definitely.
Yeah,
gonna be
I
about
already
Sarah.
know what he's gonna call me out for.
She knows because she was a terrible human being.
Oh no.
Okay. I guess actually I probably should say the other thing that you definitely would have seen in that room.
Bodies.
A
There
person.
is there is one body in the
Oh,
room.
shoot.
It looks
Sarah.
like it's decayed quite a lot at this point. It's probably been here a long time. Make a heal check for me.
1 second.
If there's anything I know from these games, it's that
Okay.
bodies can come to life.
So you're looking at the body, and with a quick heal check, you're not 100% sure how it died. It doesn't look like there's any wounds on it, but again, it's decayed pretty far. But you don't see any visible like slashes or broken bones or anything like that. The like loose robes that it's wearing aren't damaged at all, so you're not sure how it died. Maybe
Ripe
old
old
age. You don't know, but that's what you see.
Okay.
And that's just kind of on the ground between the beds next to that little stick you picked up. And that is your turn. It is now back to Theros and Bolus.
Theros yells and tells Volus to run away.
Okay.
Wait, Jason, did his initiative not change?
I have him at the bottom of the round.
Okay, bottom. Okay. Okay, you're sorry.
So let's see. Volus is going to go.
With a double move, he can get pretty far. With a run in that direction, he can get stupid far. There. Okay. You can go in a straight line that way, I guess, technically. There it is.
Can you get inside from here then? Yeah. Looks like it.
You might be able to. Yes.
Don't come in here. I'm hiding
Would
under the
tell-
blankets.
Tell the bear to run into the house.
Okay.
Been
So
my
Volus goes
direction.
charging into the house.
And Theros grabs another alchemist fire, and I don't think I can do anything else at that point, can I? Or can I throw it? Because think about throwing it down to just on the ground where I am to make sure it doesn't miss.
Well, you can take a 5-foot step and just so hitting an intersection is only like DC 5. So if you just take a 5-foot step back, you'll be just as likely to hit as otherwise.
Oh, okay. So then,
Andrew's over here pulling my line is broken, and like throwing it on the ground. Like, good lord,
my line
bud.
is ended.
My line is ended.
For your lives.
Like, good lord.
Are you saying that your alchemist fire is unfit for my holes? Alright, I guess can I try throwing another alchemist fire in the same turn?
Yeah, go ahead and roll that, because you draw out another one and you can throw it this turn.
Kill the queen.
Just roll 1d20, you said, right? Plus 3.
1d20 plus, it'll be plus 3.
Hold on.
Okay.
Gosh.
So you do hit the intersection. You don't hit the swarm directly, but you do hit the intersection, and you deal some splash damage. And it says, oil covers the area, blah, blah, blah. Burns for 2 rounds, deals 1d3 points of fire. So I'm going to say on its turn, it'll take that fire damage. So it takes a little bit of fire damage now. A number of the wasps in this swarm seem to catch flame. And that is your turn. It is now the swarm's turn. So I will roll 1d3 for how much damage they have, and they'll take a little bit extra.
Oh yeah, because swarms.
Didn't roll very much, so they take some more damage there. You see a number of them are kind of falling from the air. There's still quite a few of them there, though. And it is their turn. I'm gonna have to roll this one, aren't I? Because they are kind of mindless.
You could have them. Yeah, they're kind of mindless. I would say there's not real logic here.
So essentially, we're setting the fields on fire and putting up a giant beacon for any hobgoblins that are scouting in the area.
They could run away just as easily. That's a
And I
reasonable
found
thing.
a stick.
Maybe they don't like being on fire. Maybe there's a chance that they just go that ways.
Yeah, you could always hit them with a stick. So I'm going to say odds. Odds will be item. Evens will be Theros. I'm going to roll a even. Rolled a 6.
Sorry,
So
Theros. Why
they
did you
are
pick the
going to-
healer when you could have picked the ranger?
They're going to move onto your square, and they're going to
We
deal.
have another healer.
Maybe you can reason with them.
You're going to deal 4 points of damage, and you need to make a. Oh wait, no, you get a bonus. You're not immune, so make a Fortitude save.
Nope, here comes a fort save.
4 points of damage.
Oh,
Reason
nice.
Fine.
This is great, guys.
You're
Good.
fine, Nyari.
Swimmingly.
My turn?
Yes.
The -4, you said?
Okay.
I found a stick.
4 points of damage.
What's
Is this a door that I could
4 points of
open?
damage. Yes.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
lucky.
Is that the door?
Yeah, you can open that. Let me just reveal it here. That's more.
That's the wrong.
Darkness
I'm
emits from
swallowed
the
into the
room.
I don't like this. I don't like this house.
You've heard of void walkers before. Today, you embrace the abyss itself.
Can I
So-
see anything in here quickly?
Yep. So that's another room. So it doesn't really say what room things are in. It just says that in the farmhouse there are these things.
Okay.
So I'll say that you know all of the things that are in here via Oran's check.
Okay.
So you know that he has, and I would say that you would know that what he is carrying is very similar to something that you already have. You don't
Can
know if
I-
it's exactly the same, but it's similar.
Would you let me roll on that, or do I have to move to get closer to him to do that?
Yeah, I'll let you roll on that because technically,
Nope.
technically you wouldn't-
I have got no idea, because even with a rank in spellcraft, I can't roll
Yep.
for
I'll say
anything.
you kind of know what it is. You just don't know specifically.
We did it again. It's the shack all over again. There's a
It's-
giant enemy out there killing the other two, and the bear, Nyari, and me are in the small building off the way. Like, we
mean,
did it
defense-
again!
In your
The
defense,
second time!
Nyari literally
I'm
can't do
not-
anything about the swarm, and neither can Volus.
Yeah, I'm not upset in the slightest. Don't hear that.
We did
But
it again!
y'all are just like looting this house, all right? It's like we're playing Link the Awakening with 4 players, and one guy is out there just over and over, and the other 3 characters are just looting the townspeople.
We're establishing a pattern of behavior here where Nyari, Volus, and Oran are always going to go to whatever structure there is on the map, and that's where we'll be.
I'm trying to find things that will be helpful because I have nothing.
I just
thought
think it's funny
maybe-
because we did the same thing again.
Maybe there would
Yeah.
be something in here. Is there like a piece of wood or anything that we can light on fire?
Pause, actually, what are you gonna do with a piece of wood?
I was sick.
That is a good point, though. Just so you know, torches can deal damage to
I
swarms.
don't have my torch anymore. I'm pretty sure I used it in that battle, didn't I?
Pause. You only
Oh,
had 1
yeah.
torch. Your kit comes with 10.
I don't get kits, dude. I buy individual items and I only had 1 torch.
Aren't you?
But
You wanna
I have a
compare
bear trap if
inventory
we ever need that. Because
You
that
wanna
seemed useful
compare-
at the time.
inventory sheets and who's got the cooler list of mundane items? Because I'll do it.
Aiden, it is your turn.
I'm running away.
Okay.
He's gonna shout out to Theros that everyone else has left. Obviously, there's nothing we can do. Obviously, there, and I'll take a double move. There's not pigs here, and there isn't a fence here, or there is a fence here.
Cover
Uh,
yourself in mud.
There is a fence. There is a fence, but the pigs are gone.
Yeah, I'm
pig
trying to debate
skeletons.
if he would run right to try to like get to the other side. Maybe there's a door over there, or is it like a 1-room thing, or maybe he'll try to join them. But I think he's trying to get away, mostly.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna play it that way. Does this thing curl around off the edge of the map?
The fence, the stone wall, yes.
'Kay.
So that is his movement to get over there.
Yep.
And Oran, it is your turn. You probably also kind of know what you have. You don't know specifically though yet. You can try to find out.
Yeah, I'll use a spellcraft to.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Did we actually succeed at spellcraft just
I
now?
believe the DC is 16.
Oh, yay!
So
Things
you
are looking up,
identify-
guys.
I have
You-
a stick.
You identify
Alright,
this
well,
as a wand of burning hands.
Shut up.
Oh
Wait. Hold on, though.
way!
Hold on,
However,
though.
however, it only has 4 charges remaining.
Oh,
Can't do
darn.
anything
Dude,
with it.
dude, I can use that.
Yeah.
It's on my list.
That's so cute.
All right. So
You spellcraft that and shout out, "Oh, I know what it is!" And you hear Nyari's voice. She's like, "Oh, dude!"
dude. I quickly run out. Is it about the staircase?
We'll talk about that later. Give me the stick.
I hand her the stick majestically, like just.
Okay, you hand her the stick.
He's so done. He's so over it. It's like, congratulations, you got burning hands to win this CR1 encounter at level 2. Good for you
I-
guys.
I'm celebrating the small victories, Josh. Okay, that's a big deal.
Theros, it is your turn, and everyone has abandoned you.
I-
We all just yeeted out.
What would you like to do?
Wait,
How
is
many?
this- is
How
this
many
still-
alchemist fire do you have, by the way?
I have one more.
We only had
One more. Okay.
two.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are any of the wasps still oiled up, like that, are still alive, or would we have to apply another coat of oil?
The oil lasts for a certain number of rounds, so technically, yeah, they're still on fire. You'd have to reapply the oil once they stop being on fire, but currently they're still on fire.
I have the spell produce flame. Would that be applicable? It's not area of effect, I don't think. It has 0 feet, but it says it can be hurled. So
I've
I
got
think
it here.
I could probably hurl it, but it wouldn't do any splash
Dealing.
damage.
No, the flames either harm. Oh well, maybe it harms others. Yeah,
It's
or
a
use
touch
the
attack, so
Yeah.
I don't think you like swarms can't be targeted. So I don't think that it would work because it's a touch attack and not like a save.
From a
Yes.
physics perspective, I feel like it should.
He could just metagame and he just does one of these and like throws his hands around.
Physics do not exist in this world of magic.
That's fair.
You
Yeah.
can-
Anything that targets a single creature does not work. Produce flame is kind of a tricky situation, though.
Wait. Let's see here. As a
'Cause you'd
thrown
think- you'd
weapon,
thi-
you can do it as a thrown weapon. Just
Well, yeah, but
throw
that
it.
doesn't mean he
I know,
targets more than an
I
enemy.
know, but just
What
roll
I'm
like,
saying is that, like, you'd think that if a torch can deal damage, then like produce
That's
flame
what I
would be
was
able to do.
thinking too, but
Because
otherwise-
I will. Obviously, I'll.
how
do
does a
what you
torch
say.
not do damage? Or how does it do damage? It would work the same way.
It basically you just make an attack roll and only the fire damage goes through. So
That,
it's like 1d3 fire damage from a torch,
But-
I think.
right, then you technically can't. If you can do that, you can do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I am tentatively thinking that you should be able to, and then I would like look up on forums to see if somebody can give me an argument why that shouldn't happen. Did you prepare produce flame?
I did. Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Um,
come on, he invested in that too. Give it to him. What's the worst that can happen?
I will allow it via the rule of cool.
You are so cool, Jason.
Well, I'm
That,
gonna
that
look
is
up.
what the rule of cool means. It means that the GM is cool, yes.
Where are the rules for attacking swarms with a torch? Is there like a rule set for that?
It's probably
So-
just under torch. I don't know. I am not sure where it is. You'd have to look.
Okay. I'm gonna do the boring stuff while it's not my turn.
Yep.
Give me a holler when it is.
So yeah, Theros, I'll let you cast that spell
As
and make
as
a
thrown?
touch attack against the creature. What was that?
As a thrown attack.
Yes. Just so you know, an alchemist fire deals damage even if you miss because of splash damage. This won't have splash
You have
damage.
to
So if
hit
you miss the AC, it does nothing.
The AC is 20, I think you said.
I did not say what the AC is. I only said that the touch AC is the same as the normal AC
Can't
because
imagine
the swarms are not wearing armor.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't imagine a
Little
swarm has a
armored
high
bees.
little armored weapenized bees.
The
But they
camera
might
zooms in
be
real close and
agile,
you see them
so-
wearing Iron Man suits.
So it's up to you. You have nigh guaranteed damage with alchemist fire, or maybe more damage that might not go through with produce flame.
and use our last alchemist fire.
Also, this didgeridoo music that's playing is pretty boss. Just saying.
I didn't even notice. My volume was turned down, I think.
It's
Uh,
pretty dope.
If
mean-
Killer Hornets came from anywhere, it was definitely from Australia. So
Fair enough.
I'm digging it.
All right, so I guess I'm going to go for the cool points and hope I just get lucky with hurling the flame. Can I move first?
Yeah, you're saying you're casting the spell?
Yeah.
Yeah, then you can do a full move action and then standard action cast the spell from a distance.
Probably don't. I don't want to impede myself from the. So I can go this far, right?
Yes.
The distance isn't going to change.
No, I think the range
Oh.
is like 120 feet.
120 feet. Yeah.
So, it'll be
So
the
yeah,
same.
you're fine.
All right. What do I have to roll for it?
So it'll be 1d20 plus base attack bonus and dexterity. So I think that was a 3 before, so 1d20 plus 3.
Okay, so same as alchemist fire. All right. Well,
Yep, and then this will be against its touch AC. See if you can hit.
it's miserable.
No. You cast the flame and it kind of it goes through and like I mean you take some out, but like not enough to do
Like 3
noticeable
bees.
damage. Yeah. So that is Theros' turn. Do you do anything with Volus or you just kind of leave him where he's at?
I'm gonna leave him where he's
Use him as a
at.
distraction.
No, I'm not gonna lose my bear again. Theros isn't going to.
You're probably gonna die, so what does it matter?
That's fair.
You won't die. You won't die. You're fine. It'd have to do like 21 damage for you to die.
Okay. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Did you say you weren't going to do anything with Volus?
Correct. I'm gonna move him.
Okay.
Like, right here, so he's not in
Okay.
anybody's way.
Then, in that case, it is the swarm's turn. The swarm takes more fire damage. That time it was max, so it was 1d3, so that's 3, and then a little bit more than after that. Okay. So again, more of these wasps start falling out of the air, just crisped with all of the fire.
Delicious.
It'll take its turn, and the only thing it can see is you.
Goodbye,
So it's gonna go up to
everybody.
you, and
It's
you're
all
gonna
up to
take the
you now.
damage.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
You
Oh
take
boy.
8 points of damage, and roll a Fortitude save.
Must get just saying. This is my first time going down.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Might be the last.
There's the first time for everything. Okay, so you're
So
fine on the
bad.
Fortitude, and
Eight.
that is yes, 8. Nyari, it is your turn.
Real quick,
Yes.
I regrettably inform you all that I don't think you can use a torch to attack a swarm in Pathfinder.
Really?
You can in 3.5. It was
Oh.
never officially carried over.
Because you can in the Kingmaker game.
I
Okay.
I was just gonna say that. I was like, in the Kingmaker game though, you can use a torch
So-
to hit them. Yeah.
Here is where there is actually nothing clearly stated in the rules, but I do believe logic would dictate that we can borrow from 3.5 to fill in a little bit because there's nothing written about it. So that is
Well-
up to you, Jason.
Yep. Once somebody pulls out a torch and goes to do it, we can have that discussion. Nyari, it's your turn. What do you want to do? Whoa.
Double
She
moving
is
there.
running away.
And I'm yelling at Oran or I'm yelling to Oran, Theros is down, get out here.
Okay.
Was that a grumble? He's like, God.
Oh, Orin is gonna take up grumbling a lot.
You're the only one who's
It's
dealt
gonna
damage
become-
to this. Yeah, dang
Oh
it.
man, maybe he'll suddenly be more familiar with kinding than he meant to. You know,
Yeah,
That'll
right.
look a lot better.
Aiden, it is your turn. Do you have anything that you want to do, or you're just going to continue moving?
Well,
Over
he
there.
saw Nyari run out, and is he aware that Theros has gone down?
Yeah, you have line of sight on him, I think. You can see that he's collapsed.
Yeah, so he'll curse under his breath and start making his way back. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've done nothing helpful, but he's at least going to try to get the cleric's attention and be like,
Okay.
"Yo, Theros is down. Theros is down. Phaendar,
Well,
Phaendar."
aware.
And Orin, it is your turn.
Well, I've been made abundantly aware that Theros is down. So I go into the big bedroom where the bed is, and I hide.
Okay.
Kidding. So when you're checking movement, do you start where your character is, or do you start in the
Yes.
square in front? Okay, that character. All right. So,
Yep.
so far away. What have I even got going on? Hang on a minute. How far away? Range 25 feet plus 5 feet for every 2 caster levels. Okay, so if I go here. Awesome. Yep. All right. Thank you, Jason. I think you
Yep.
see where I'm headed. So I'm gonna go. Is it here? Was that right?
I think it was here.
Was it there? Okay. Yeah, and then I'm going to use stabilize on.
Okay.
Theros.
Theros has been stabilized, and it is Theros' turn, but he does not have to make a check because he is already stable. It is the Wasp Swarm's turn.
Are they gonna mutilate my body?
Well, that's what I'm going to roll.
Oh no.
for.
That's horrifying. That's literally my nightmare.
There's a
Can
lot
we-
of things that are, that are going on.
We
We do-
established that if a druid dies, his bear's just gonna walk off into the wilderness, right?
Can we also just be like, do remember, Nyari did come yelling and screaming like a banshee. Woo! Kill me! man!
Yeah. So I'm gonna roll odds and evens. So odds is going to be Nyari. Evens is going to be Theros.
Flat 50-50. This is really bad. What about Oran? Oran might want to get hit.
Okay, I can re-roll.
What? Wait.
I
do you
just rolled. I know the result. Do you want me to re-roll, including a third option?
Like a
I'm
33, 33, 33 type deal.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not making this call.
I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can re-roll if you want
You
to.
can't put this on me. You're the DM. I was just reminding you that there are more than two
he was
options.
teasing Justin. He was teasing.
You can do whatever you want, Chase. I trust you to be fair and impartial and wise.
You've already been that much.
So it was the same result either way.
Whew, that's off
The
me.
swarm, seeing that the creature that it was attacking has collapsed and is no longer fighting it. It goes after the creature who is making the most movement.
Way to go, Nyari! Woo! You're a hero. You really are. You know. I
Watch
said
me
it
die
once.
now.
Right, she's the only one that can use the wand, and we're out of all other supplies.
Oh goodness. Okay. 6 points of damage. I rolled a 1 and a 5 that time.
It's not too
Sounds
bad.
That makes him upset, you know.
And
And
another
a
fort save.
Fortitude save. You do not get the +2 bonus on this one. Okay, you're fine. Don't.
Ooh, good time to
Oh
be
boy.
rolling well.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
And Nyari, it is your turn. The swarm is right in front of you. What do you do?
Kill it.
You drop the wand and run away.
Burning man with burning hands.
Nope, I'm
Oh, I
just
forgot
going
to roll damage for the swarm. 1 second.
Oh, because it's still on fire?
That was the last round that it's on fire. Go ahead.
All right, I will use the wand and say activate.
Okay, so she says the word activate.
1 point of damage, but actually 2 points of damage?
Yeah.
Does it round up or down?
In this case, since it's 50, I'm just gonna make it 2. I'm not gonna bother with it. So you cast that, and at this point, you can see that a good, like, more than half of this swarm has fallen out of the air. It's looking like some of these wasps are just starting to disperse and go to other places, but it's still technically still there.
How
Also- Okay.
many charges did this wand have?
I believe
3?
it was 4, so it's
4?
now 3.
3.
Did you you ticked their
charges.
second round of persistent fire damage, correct?
Yep, I just did that.
That's just
Okay.
me, you know, just double checking because that's not on our side of the screen, you know. So
Yeah, I added that in.
Yep.
So Aiden, you're up. Anything you want to do?
I'm going to Josh Allen look at my inventory. I think the answer is no. I don't
Okay.
think there's anything that I can reasonably do except for go care for Theros. So he's gonna do that and try to get him out of there and maybe I don't know what he thinks. Start dragging him or something lame. I don't know.
I can't
can
make
get-
the distance.
You can get just over there. Oran, you're after him. Whoa, excuse me. You're after him.
Yeah, I can get one more actually, but we'll stay right there.
So, second. Is that corner of the wall gonna be a problem with me doing a diagonal run over to him? Like I'm trying to get to here.
So
why is
I
it
would say that if you wanted, I would allow you to go,
over
Like
here?
that.
yeah, like that. You could
Okay.
you could do that,
Okay.
and you can get there.
So it'll take you the full complement of your movement. Yep.
And then gonna give him the old cure light wound.
The old CLW action.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
1d8
yeah.
plus
8
2 now because
plus
you're
2.
second level. So minimum
Mm.
3, maximum 10.
1d8 plus 2.
Oh, and he'll live forever. Okay, so you
That is-
heal 8 hit points. Theros, it is now your
Conscious again.
turn. So you are prone on the ground.
Mhm. I thank them as I come to and attempt to stand up.
Okay, so you stand up with your move action.
Yep.
You still have a standard. You could draw. You can't draw and throw this turn, unfortunately, but you could draw your last alchemist fire. You could draw your oil. It's whatever you want to do. Or you can just hold. It's fine.
A long throw.
It would be a long throw.
Yeah, not probably gonna try to throw anything.
Quick question. On my spells, how do I remove that I used one of my Cure Light wounds? Like, how do I check that off of the prepared?
So do you have them all checked?
Yeah, they're all currently checked.
I would just
3.
uncheck it.
Can I?
So
No,
what-
yeah, you have to clear
Um,
it and then check back up to how many you have. Yeah, I know. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Cumbersome, but all right.
It's a bit jank. I'm not gonna lie. I can't pretend that it's good. I can just tell you it's functional. Wow,
Yeah.
that is a line for IT support right there.
Can
Back pocketing that one.
I pull out the alchemist fire and hand it to Oran?
You can have it out, and then on his turn, he could grab it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like the buckets we did.
Yeah, so,
So
you can like
Orin
have
would
it
be
out
ne-
and
would
ready
be,
to go.
Yeah. Who would be next? Oran, or who's sooner in initiative again? Oran or
Aiden.
Aiden?
Aiden.
It's Aiden then Orin.
Probably has better dexterity than me too.
Then I'll get it out in hopes that Aiden or Oran, one of them will take it.
Okay.
Ready the last alchemist fire we have.
After your turn, it is the wasp, and obviously the wasp has got to go to where the 3 people are. No, just kidding.
Right.
I could just wipe you guys if I did
These,
that,
I was gonna
though.
say
Yeah.
these are very intelligent wasps. They realize that the numbers are turning against them again. That'd be awful.
No,
That'd
once
be
they
really
pick a target, unless
I think
something else
they'll-
distracts them, they stick with it.
Yeah, they double down.
Much
It's
like
their
Wolves.
swarm behavior guidelines for
Ooh.
GMs in the Game Master Guide.
It's 8 points of damage.
Oof.
Goodness gracious, Jason, are you playing them right? Are you sure?
It's 2d6, man.
2d6.
It's all right. Nari's gonna kill him on her next
Plus
turn.
the
That's
fortitude
fine.
save.
She's gonna do a bit more than 1.
A bit more than 1.
Oh,
Oh
oh,
Not
that's
again!
another point of dexterity damage.
We're a
puts you
long
at
way
2.
from restoration.
That puts you at 2 dexterity damage.
Well, it's
You're
just
now taking-
damage. It's not drain. So
Yeah. You're now taking a -1 penalty on stuff.
no!
I think I was
Stop.
before.
No, you only take a penalty from damage once you've hit an even number. So you had 1
Oh,
before, now you're at
I
2.
see.
So now
Because my
you're
score doesn't actually go down. I gotcha.
correct.
Oh,
yeah.
I have learned.
And Nyari, it is your turn.
Hold on, let me see here.
You still have 3 charges. You know that this thing is pretty down.
Yep, I will trust my companions.
I wouldn't.
So an alchemist fire actually has a range increment of 10 feet. I'm sorry for cheating. Take a -1 retroactively on all of your attack rolls for attacking under your first range increment.
It's actually a -2.
I take -2.
Okay, 2.
Plus 1, 3.
Yep, I've got that. They are on the cusp of, like, out of game terms, they still have a lot of HP left, but also out of game terms, like, once they get to a certain point, this swarm is probably going to lose interest
Right.
and disperse. And they are right on the cusp there. Aiden, it is your turn. You have
I'm
been
go-
handed.
I'm going down next round. Just to let you guys.
you've
I
been
know.
handed a thing.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
can.
wanna do with that thing.
Well, I take it. I think.
Yep.
Problem is, reality in game terms only gets me to there.
Uh-huh.
So I have to throw it 30 feet to hit it.
Yes. So you'd be taking a -4 penalty, but to hit a square is only a DC 5.
This is correct.
And technically, because splash weapons are stupid in this game, even if you miss, it hits an adjacent thing. So you technically it's impossible to miss. That's why splash weapons are kind of dumb. But
It is dumb,
you literally cannot miss.
but it is splash. You all ready for this?
Yeah.
Great.
Ooh.
So
Okay. What is your other modifiers?
pulling it up now for you, my good friend. Dexterity, we've got a 2. Base attack bonus, we've got a 2.
Okay. So that exceeds its touch AC. So I'm going to let you actually roll the damage because you're able to hit it exactly.
Oh, this is
Like,
very
hit the
nice.
form.
This is a lot better. So I'm
I
going to
believe
roll
the
a
modifier
d6.
is the D6
Yep.
because you hit it, not the intersection.
The first one.
Oh,
2,
Come on, man.
3 damage. That puts it at less than 10.
Oh,
And with
okay.
that, the swarm has lost it's lost over 2/3. And you see that what few bees remain, still as a swarm, just start flying away. They have been burnt so much that they no longer feel the need to defend this nest that they might have had. And they leave over there. They're just kind of hiding in the corner. I'll just put them up here.
That
They're
was
kinda-
stupidly close. I know out of game that is technically like we're supposed to get it down to 2/3 basically, but also, oh my gosh, he could have died. Like,
Yeah.
that's insane.
So yeah, this is a CR3 swarm.
Yeah, I knew that.
It's
Wow.
a-
Swarms are no joke, though. Like, if you don't
Swarms?
have anything
Yeah.
against a diminutive swarm, you're screwed.
At
You
low
leave.
level, swarms are crazy.
You
I mean,
run
I don't see how
away,
that could have gone better.
get in water. I could think of a way. Preparation.
Nah, went perfect.
Uh,
Love it when
Yeah.
a plan comes together.
With
okay.
that, you're able to fight off the swarm, and you've already done a little bit of looking around in this this cabin here. So I'll just tell you all the things that you find there, or the things that you already found. There's some other things that I didn't mention because they weren't relevant. But so you already noticed the wand of burning hands there that now has 2 charges left. You find 210 silver pieces. You find 75 gold pieces.
Oh, hold on. Sorry. I
Oh,
wasn't paying
okay.
attention. Well, can
Okay.
you repeat that first thing?
210 silver pieces.
Wow.
75 gold pieces.
Wow.
A set of masterwork bolas. Bolas? I think it's bolas.
What's a
Bo-
bowl?
BOLO.
A
Ebola.
BOLAS. Bolas. I think they're probably a weapon.
Oh, they're like the chain things, like the 3 balls on a rope that you spin and then throw at something to like
Yeah, that
wrap
sounds
it
right.
up. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
There is a masterwork javelin. A large
Fair.
citrine gem.
Large what?
Citrine I'm
Ci-
sorry. CITRINE. Citrine. I think that's how you say it.
Gem.
And just out of game, I will actually Oran roll an
I was gonna
appraise
say.
check. It's a gem. You get your bonuses on that.
Yeah, so I got that, and then
What about perception stone coming?
greed. I get my greed, which is a +2.
So that's actually not enough to meet the DC.
Yeah.
So you don't know how much this thing's worth.
Nope.
And on that body, you see some very old and probably no longer in good condition robes that you can write down as worn scholars' robes. Worn is, yeah.
We're
Worn in the
taking
sense
the
that,
clothes off this corpse.
well, you don't have to. I'm just saying that's what he was wearing.
Okay.
That's why I said worn.
We just
'cause
walk in.
You might not want to carry them because
Does
they're very
anybody-
worn.
Nyari.
Well, like, so the material, is it like good enough that it could be used for like a covering or a blanket, or is it just
You
like
yeah, you might be able to bring it back and use it as like a material for somebody making a craft check to like craft a bedroll or something.
Nyari will be like, do not tell anyone that this was on a corpse.
I mean, maybe tell someone. So they
Oran
can
and I are
clean
just
it,
standing
but-
there. She just starts stripping the body, and Oran and I just look
Just
at each other.
horrified. What the hell?
Justin, look to your left.
Yeah, just-
Other way.
Oh,
You
wait,
and I are
right.
just looking at like.
Yeah, you don't have to take it. I was just telling you what the corpse there was wearing, so you had an idea.
Might
but-
as well take it.
But yeah, so that's all you find here. Oh wait, no. Oh, yep, sorry, I skipped over that part. So there are apples and a small cart that has some still. So the cart has still edible, like non-perishable foods, but all of the apples that are kind of overgrowing this building, altogether you can harvest 5 provision points.
Ooh,
That'll do.
it's not bad.
That's enough for each of us. So
for one day.
for one
Yeah.
day,
For us.
you get applesauce, you get roasted apples, you get. That's about it.
That bear's looking awful delicious. I'm kidding.
Oh.
I'm
How
kidding.
dare you?
And
How
with
many how many provision points is Polus worth?
How dare
Wow.
you even ask?
I'm kidding.
I know.
We can look it up
So-
real quick. I'm sure there's an answer.
With
I
that,
swear.
we can end the session after successfully clearing out the first place.
Barely. Again, barely.
Barely.
A triumphant victory.
Barely get it.
Like we
'Cause
need
it's a
to we need to work on these low CR encounters because when we actually have like one that matters, it's gonna be real bad.
We gotta get that. We gotta get that synergy back. I mean, if you think
Yeah.
about it, we played for 3 sessions, and then I really do feel like our coordination as a group came together a lot better in some of those second to last battles. You know, with Elwood and stuff. We gotta just figure out how this new group of characters is gonna jive and how we're gonna get this to go again. It's definitely different.
Yeah.
A Swarm was also a piss poor debut, unfortunately. Myself.
Yeah.
Thanks, GM.
Hey, that's how it goes.
So are we headed back
Whose
to
idea
the,
was it to go to the farm in the first place?
the punchable guy?
So what's gonna happen is like we can end it here, and then next session what we'll do is like you guys could rest at the farm, and then the next day you'll have your 4 hexes of movement again, and that's kind of how it's gonna go. Is like you'll get 4 hexes of movement if you make the check, and then you'll rest at that location and make the next one. And every day you'll just continue exploring and whatnot, and it'll take some time because it's a pretty thick forest and you're covering a lot of distance here. But
I was gonna ask if it would be at all possible for me to steal a few more extra yards in the middle of the night at some point. I don't know how big of an area did you say each hex was?
2.5 miles.
So it would take. a
You're
bit of
you're basically like 1 or
Right.
2 hexes away from the edge where you're trying to get to, like right. So you would know this. I think I'm on the right layer. So like right here
Yeah.
is like the edge that you
That
could
I'm
get to.
trying
So
to-
that's only like 2 movements away, and you could just like peek in, whatnot.
Okay.
But that would be
So
the
qu-
next day.
Right.
Question. I thought that our survival checks were really good.
Yeah. So you got 8 hexes worth, but this is
Yeah.
difficult terrain. So
Oh,
every hex was 2. So if you were out in the plains,
That's
you would have been able to do
deceiving.
double the distance.
That's deceiving.
No, it's just the rules, Sarah.
That's deceiving.
So
No,
on
again,
You know
the,
what it
So-
is?
So just I will say this. The hex exploration rules are subject to change if we collectively decide that they are either too stringent or not stringent enough. We can change them to make it less of a drag, you know.
Yeah, we can. I haven't been a drag yet. I like
Mhm.
the idea of like exploring the Fangwood and like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
it's gonna be cooler as we grow and see more territory. We can see to here now, and then there's even some overland stuff that might happen if we hear a report of you've heard of hobgoblins over here. I don't know what's gonna happen. I can't see the future, but I bet this will be pretty fun.
Well,
I hope
scouts
none
can
of
tell
you-
us that. The NPC scouts can tell us, like, if they
Right.
get a certain
Yeah.
role, they can tell us there's danger over
Yeah,
here. or
Yeah, and
whatever.
if you guys want, if you decide to have some of your NPCs specifically scout, you could maybe choose one of these hexes that you guys didn't go to, and when you
Yeah.
get back to camp, maybe some of those could just be automatically revealed from your NPCs doing that.
For pacing, apart from like major missions, I do like the idea of just handling that between sessions,
Mhm.
having a date, and then like if any of us seem to really enjoy doing that, maybe we could hop on Discord for an hour on one of the days of the week and just make sure we're all lined up or do it on
Yeah.
our own time. I think that
So, because that's what I was gonna say. Because I already have like mapped out what I thought like I would do. with
right.
the
So we could have like
NPCs.
a strategy meeting, and then you could attend or not at
I'm good with
each
that.
Yeah.
person's leisure, and then so long as we have something ready to go, I think that's going to be a fun approach, and we
Yeah.
can see how it goes.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right, so two things I have to ask before we close the session, and I apologize if I shouldn't say this, but I knew ahead of time a little bit about the rules of creatures coming back from the dead if they survive. I also think Sarah did a little bit. And the whole time you were considering a new animal companion, she kept being like, here's one, here's a good one, here's one. And I was like, don't you know that Bolus is probably gonna have a chance to come back?
Yeah, I rolled that pretty quickly after that session, so I knew all along, and I was just kind of
I thought that was so funny.
I was trying to play it up a little bit.
I was
Next.
not
Listen,
expecting it.
You got to keep the suspense there. You can't just give stuff
Yeah.
away.
I agree.
Makes
I
the
agree with
reactions more genuine.
It was fantastic. Also, I had a question. Sarah, I thought you shaking your head during some of Elwood's backstory or at the Ram Gate. I was curious what was that about?
I don't know.
Okay.
Don't know.
I'll leave it to me. Fun as always. Thank you, everyone. I also had a blast with this.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
I did too.
Good time.
Yeah. We
Until
struggle
next week.
something fiercely.
It is a good time. I really enjoy this. I miss Elwood, but I'm still trying to figure out how this character is going to play. But give him a session or two, and I think we'll find the niche pretty well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Yep, see
Have
you
a
guys
good night,
next week.
everyone.